Hello, it is Sunday. What is up, everyone? All the one person was one person that was watching. So, it's Sunday. It's that time again. Well, I get together with all my friends or people that's in the Discord that want to talk. And we talk about things. So, episode 102, this has been going on for a long time. Hey, Rogue, what's up?
I can see that you're making yourself pretty for your 100th episode. I see.
Oh, yeah? No, that's just how my fucking hair laid down today.
I saw you kind of doing the whole play with your sides kind of thing, and I'm like going, "What the hell, man? You make yourself look pretty." So, I got nothing for you. Everything is pretty good. Just chilling as usual.
Just the chillins. Okay.
Yeah. You gotta watch out. You might end up having some other people might show up that like them chillins.
Well.
Yeah.
They're welcome. They're welcome for a good lashing.
True. I feel like I'm first again. I feel like I'm first
You're
again.
always first. You're first above none.
I know, which is weird. I usually come in kind of, at least I try to be, somewhat late.
Somewhat
But
fashionably late.
yes, fashionably late, somewhat late, and I always kind of either miss that completely or just catch it because we have a wild pen that might show up.
A wild pen. She may not
Yeah.
be in today, I don't think. But I hope she is.
Well, it depends. All
Yeah.
depends.
Anyways, done the watch club last week on Sonic 2.
Okay.
I like it a lot better than Sonic 1.
Okay.
Yes, I know it's kind of rinse and repeat, kind of same flows and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like Jim Carrey did a better job on Robotnik in this one.
Okay.
I like the add-in of Tails and Knuckles. Although I almost did rage there for a minute. It's like they are not making him this dumb.
Yeah.
And they hit the line and then came back. It's like, okay, he's not that dumb, but he is dumb.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's supposed to be a bruiser.
Well, I mean, that's the difference between being a bruiser and, being a lughead.
I'm sorry. Have you met Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone or they're bruisers, and sometimes they tend to be like
And not a tumor. It not a tumor.
yeah. So I mean, they're the standard tropes for a lughead.
But no, I died whenever what was it? After Robotnik got the Master Emerald, and he built his machine.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there going, I lost my shit whenever he went World Domination Playlist and started playing fucking a guitar in his leg, and it's like, oh man, really?
Yeah.
I mean, with this being his last movie, you can tell he did put a lot of emphasis into this character. I mean, I guess he wanted to go out for Bane, and he did.
It's very questionable. He's done retirement before, so
It is, and it's like I explained in the Watch Club, which will be out. I don't know when, but it will be out. I just got done editing it today. I'm doing this one a little bit better. I actually let some of the audio in.
Okay.
So I overlaid the video, audio, and the editor.
Yeah.
And I've done this once before. I couldn't figure out how to fucking do it again, but you can tell it the silence detect also cut out portions of these videos too. I couldn't remember how to do it.
Oh, jeez.
Well, no, I was sitting there and just stumped, and it's like, you know what? I got another way I can do this. and I
Yeah.
went about it a different way. And yeah, so the audio's cut up. I went 5 second intervals on this one.
Okay.
And the only reason why I put the audio in is because I didn't have a subbed version of this.
No, it is very, very, very rare to get one of those.
I almost had one. The video editor transcribes speech to text,
Yeah, there's new functionality.
but you gotta pay for it.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
And it's like
That is.
that is a cool feature. I do not have the money for this.
Yeah, no, it's one of the gimmicks that they've been throwing in. Descript is another one. You can use it for free up to a certain. I think it's up to 3 hours.
Yeah, they
And
only
then
allow 1 hour on the speech to text.
yeah,
Or yeah, speech to text. And it's like,
yeah,
oh man.
yeah.
Oh well, but it wasn't a big deal. Everyone had fun with the movie,
That's
so
good.
that's a good thing. Looking, there's only 3 channels that have a uploaded reaction commentary of the show of the movie.
Hmm.
So I'm hoping to be the fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
Get ahead of the game for once.
You would think, right? It's been out for a bit, so
It's been out. No, it's been out in theaters.
yeah, yeah.
Usually, you see the reactionary channels and commentary channels get a hold and do reactions once it's released on video. I'm just cheating a little bit,
Yeah, well.
but I did go afterwards. This week to the theater. I have seen it in theaters. It's better in theaters than it is on the computer screen. I will say that much.
Yeah, well, I mean that is the case for this particular type of budget and production. You'd want to see it on the big screen. Like for example, Top Gun, you'd want to see it on the big screen versus the small screen. But if you have no other choice but to get it via small screen, then you make those
Yes,
sacrifices.
sweet, sweet sacrifice. Are you
So,
prepared to die?
eh,
No, I'm 12.
oof,
It's-
eh, eh, true, but it's a
but
good call.
no, no, it was a good movie. I liked it. And I was pretty fucking spot on my prediction.
Did I not say that?
You said close, but I was not. I was trying to tune you out because
Yeah,
I did
I
not
know.
want. I didn't want any kind of spoilers, and I wanted to predict it, and then the film show me that's what happens.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's better that way.
yeah, but unfortunately, it's thing to it creates its own issues. I mean, realistically, you were spot on for the majority of the film. It's a paint by numbers based film. I mean, think of it that way.
No, well, I mean, it's a good film.
Yeah,
I know. It's like everyone was really hyping it. Like Cassie is hyping it up, AJ is hyping it up. Tyra, everyone in the Watch Club was really hyping up the film, and I I hyped it up a little bit too. But still, it's like you can't really celebrate. And Tyra kind of came around too, and kind of reverberated the same thing. Can't really celebrate yet because yeah, a studio did a really good rendition from a video game to a movie, which is very rare. I was like, well, maybe we'll see more of it. I think that was Cassie said that. It's like, and both me and Tyler just spoke up. It's like, yeah, no, what we're getting to is also Halo.
yeah, yeah. Because you have to unfortunately take that in consideration. Halo is a big one that they decided to go a completely different way.
It does not know the way. It's
Yeah, it
quite painfully does not know the way.
no, that is true. Like I said, it's we only have a small handful of films that are at least somewhat accurate when it comes down to the video game. But unfortunately, with more video game based movies or shows coming out, they're just deciding to go in a completely different direction, going with their own vision for. I mean, look, they what was it? Uncharted pretty much tried to do a shot for shot from the video game, yet brought nothing new. And they did a shot for shot very poorly too, I would have to say. As
I
like,
don't mind. I don't mind. So, all right. So it really, I guess it really kind of looks at, you gotta look at it. It really kind of depends on the game.
mhm,
Depending on the game, a shot for shot probably wouldn't be bad, especially if it's like a heavily cinematographed game.
yes,
If it is a heavily cinematographed game, a shot for shot would probably be preferable. But on the portions like in the gameplay where, they've got to establish, it's not the player playing the game, it's the
right.
conveying a story. Do something interesting, unique in those bits and pieces. And when it comes down to it, maybe change something up here or there, shot for shot, during the
Yeah.
cinematographic parts. But,
Well,
put
w-
something in it. But I get what you mean.
yeah. Okay. 'Cause when you compare the two video based games that have come out recently, within this couple of years, whether it be Sonic the Hedgehog 2 versus the Uncharted, you have one that's using the source material and using bits and pieces of the game, and the other one using the entire game, cinematically speaking, and trying to reinterpret it for the large screen and not bring anything new to the table. With the other one, brought some new elements to it. So they were still trying to tell the story, but in their own way.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's like, because the question did get changing gears, because I know I didn't finish fully talking about this one, but
Hmm.
it's like with Jim Carrey retiring, because that got brought up. It's like they can't end this off right here, right now. It's like, he's they're teasing a third movie. I mean, is he really gonna retire? And it's like, technically, they can still utilize this without Jim Carrey coming back, and they just left him. It's like, oh well, why? He's Robotnik, he's Eggman, and it's like, yes. If you go by the continuity though of the Archie comics and even in some of the games,
Hmm.
Eggman has been redefined two different times. One of the most famous ones is like in the Archie comics. So in that one, he ended up getting roboticized himself. So you had Robotnik and then Mecha Robotnik, and well, or Metal Robotnik, and that was basically Robotnik as a robot, roboticized. He
Yes.
got destroyed. So Robotnik, as he was destroyed. His consciousness got transferred over to a clone body. He had different I don't remember what issue this was, but he has like several interpretations of his body, and the one that he picked to put his consciousness is the classic A-Man we have today, as it's been going on in the Archie comics. So it's not that big of a stretch to say, yeah, Jim Carrey is a really good Robotnik. It is feasible if they do replace him with another actor that could do either just as good of a job or a better job, hopefully a better job, and utilize that. I mean, it's quite possible.
It is. It is. Um, but you also have to take in consideration we are looking at the Sonic adventures with Shadow. So we are moving forward in the storyline. I do know that there's parts of the storyline where Robotnik doesn't really exist
Yeah,
for the most part.
this is probably not going to go over. I mean, Robotnik is probably not going to be the main focus plot point. The next one is gonna be Shadow, but
Mhm.
there's so many things that they got to explain, and so many things that they got to kind of put out there now. So if anyone that knows Sonic Adventures or even Sonic X or anything like that, the video game lore, like yes, Shadow got made 50 years ago. Yes, it was Gerardo Robotnik that made Shadow. He developed Shadow with the help of Gunn. Gunn was backing him, and they were up in space on a gigantic space platform called the Ark. He was also studying power of the Chaos Emerald. So here's what does not make sense. So, okay, if you're gonna bring the Chaos Emerald in this, well, it was locked away. It was an undersea temple. How in the hell could you study the Chaos Emerald or use its power to do the things that you did 50 years ago with Shadow? It's you can't do. So that's one point against it. So it's got to come up with a different origin, different way, different meaning. Two, there is no basis for any kind of a space platform out there, because we kind of see it within the first movie as like, one, Gun's not made, so Gun's not part of it, and two, they didn't know anything about extraterrestrials and stuff like that. They kind of stated that in the first movie, so it's kind of making itself into a loophole. They can't go back through and do what they did in the games. Now, I think one of the questions got brought up is like, well, maybe they didn't know and they took a guess. Like, no, they came across I can't remember what it was, but the echidna. They well, not echidnas, but like long claws. No, it's not even long claws. It was actually a echidna within the origins. Yeah. He studied. He found a temple. He studied the drawings and stuff like that. But even then, it's like, okay, he found the temple and studied the drawings. Like, then why did everything get put back up? Why, they didn't unlock the temple? It was locked away. Are you saying he went through all this and then put everything back afterwards? No, he got captured afterwards. And the end goal of Adventures was, because of the death of his granddaughter, which was, Robotnik's cousin, and Robotnik's pretty much stated, oh, yeah, he was an orphan in the first movie, which... It's commonplace for a narcissist to probably say, yes, I'm an orphan and stuff like that, to kind of negate or forget the fact that he had a rough upbringing, which Robotnik did. So it's very possible he lied on that one. But even then, it was the power of the Chaos Emeralds that Geraldo used, and actually used as a trap when they get put into the Ark. That had the Ark basically side 3 the off, drop the fucking colony on the off, and Shadow sacrificed himself to save it. So I don't know what kind of a storyline that got put up, because pretty much everything that's been set place and set forward to this point, none of this stuff exists, and they even have.
You also have to remember that as you pointed out, they have not put in Gunn as an army, whatnot. So they've also kind of retold the Sonic tale a little bit.
They did,
keeping him kind of locked into the human world. So this is more or less a different video game kind of approach, when Sonic had that human girlfriend.
Oh, and that's true. And you know what? I completely forgot this. I missed this on my watch club, and I remembered it when I was seeing the movie again, the big screens. The temple basically mentions chaos. Within Sonic Adventures, it mentions chaos, a giant serpent-like beast within the temple that basically protected or guarded the Chaos Emeralds, but utilized the power too for it. But it's like this. You see a serpent-like creature that's like laying on the ground, a statue of one, and it's like, that's a reference to chaos. So it makes me wonder if we're gonna get like a Battle of Chaos or something in the next show, next movie.
It is possible. Like I said before, they have been doing a lot of redirecting their version of Sonic. So there is that.
We
Like I said before, they're taking a bit of the source material and then making it their own. Versus Uncharted, who took the source material and tried to redo it and not add anything new to it. And our Power Ranger really wants to know if Quantum TV eventually came after you.
no, have not heard a peep out of him. I did see his message that he sent, which I think I sent it to you, and you said you've already looked at it.
Yeah, I've
But
already seen it.
I'm gonna go ahead and read
Yeah,
this.
I've seen his little rants. I mean, it doesn't help that other people he's lobbied this rant
Well,
out
I'm
like
not.
carbon copy.
I'm not in his Discord. I don't plan to be in his Discord, but I'll showcase this. Showing a little bit about DMs, but nothing that
Yeah, well, it's
no,
all
no,
it's
nothing,
already on the
no,
Twitter sphere.
nothing important.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's like, uh, Quantum TV said something to someone else and responded back. It's like, I never sent a single email to his mother. I also never threatened her. I don't know what was being said there on that one. It's like, no, I don't know who said. There's so many people just speculating and putting stuff out there. It does.
Yeah.
It was not in my Discord. Somebody put this out in his Discord. This is in his Discord. This was posted up somewhere on. I think the Atman posted up on Twitter. No, the Atman posted up an email that was sent to him. Now, regardless of not if that was real Quantum or not, Quantum is big enough narcissist that I could believe it was.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I will kind of stand up a little bit for Quantum and say it is very possible it could be a fake account. I have not looked at the email. I have not seen the email address. You have to look at the email address in his account to verify if it's his or not. He could be using just a random one and say, "Oh well, it's not my email. This is the email."
Yeah, he could have multiple different accounts. Come on.
I don't know. I mean, it's very possible he could. It's very possible he hasn't. It is what it is. I really don't care. But it's like, just out of curiosity, was she racist towards you? I don't even know what that was supposed to mean. Anyways, it goes to two different people. It's like, they fabricated that evidence just like they fabricated me threatening Atman's mother. It's like, one, it sounds like projecting. Two, I mean, he's projecting really hard there because we kind of called him out on his fake emails of his harassment. So, it's like, yeah, I don't feel sorry for you. And dude, we have it on voice. You pretty much did turn in that man's mom. Even if it was just illegal even if it means, yeah, we don't want families to be drug free. Man, that's enough of a threat right there.
Yeah, just the approach that I don't want to take this to the next level. And she's like, "What do you mean?" Oh, legal levels. And again, I'm using it very loosely on the way how because again, I have the actual clip video. And unfortunately, it does allude that he's willing to do a legal threat.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It was like we played it side by side with, we played that and everything else. It's like, no, he's not saying. He's not even paying attention to us, and he's never paid attention to this channel. He's never paid attention to me. He's
No.
He's actually learned this lesson somewhat and stopped posting videos about this. Now, if he's saying this in a Discord somewhere, I don't know. I don't. Has he put my name in his mouth? I don't know. I don't care.
I do know that he has his own Discord. He does have people for his Patreon level to join his Discord. It just so happens that some of his people that don't like him so much happens to be a part of his Discord. paid a little money to him in order to join.
Yeah.
If that information gets leaked out via that way, well, that's all on them for the most part. I don't think that's a great call, but hey, it is what it is, unfortunately. And this is
Well,
basically a Discord leak that's been presented and brought over to the Twitter, so now everybody within the Twitter sphere has seen it.
yeah. Now, and here's the thing too. Here's the thing with this. Again, I'm not gonna say this is real or not. This may not even be the real Call of TV. We don't have a Discord handle name. We don't even know what exact Discord this is out of. So I have
Correct.
no idea. As far as I'm concerned, this could be out of some commentary channel's Discord because it says drama and current events.
Yep.
I don't know if he, in his Discord, he has a section that says drama and current events. I don't know if it's his Discord. I don't know if that's his actual handle or somebody just changed the name to match Quantum TV. You know, what's his
Yeah,
ID? Is it the
easily
owner?
done. Yeah, you can actually do it just doing the sidebar. You can do a lot of things by just editing, even the comments. So realistically,
Yeah,
uh,
so I'm giving him the benefit of doubt here with this one because this is I don't know.
yeah.
But everything else has been set up to this point, like what Rich from Review Text put out.
Mhm.
No, it's legit. I mean, fuck, he shot himself in the foot.
He did.
By whenever he was going through and streaming the guy's Discord or the guy's Twitter, and just
Hmm.
magically within the middle of that, everything just disappeared and it vanished off the face of Earth. Yeah, no, it's like no, he's done that. That's him. That's him getting caught.
Yep.
So, anyways, hang on. Which means Sparky and his loved ones could be in his line of fire. Dude, bring it. I fire back.
Honestly, he could try. Problem is he couldn't get far enough with the Atman. Who else is he going to try to get to? He's already a pariah within some of the basic communities per se. His own yes men or his own members of community. Some have questioned, some have accepted his truth. So he's tried. Yeah,
He can, you know, it's like I would love nothing more for him to try to go at me. Yes, please give me subs.
yeah, pretty much. Where we're at here is like I go
Yeah,
for it.
and if he wants to call my mom, I got a sad fact of reality. She'll
But
probably track you down and shoot you.
that'd be fascinating. Kim trying to call
That's
mom.
yeah, that's yeah. You don't. For I don't have to do anything. I don't have to be. Oh my god, he called my mom. Oh my god, this that. No, she'll take care of it. So it's I wouldn't. I would advise against doing that. Not because of the threat of me doing anything to you, because of the simple fact that she will turn you inside out.
Mm.
I'm telling you, no, don't do this for your own good against her. So, hey, man, squash. Anyways, let's continue on this. It's like, if I wanted to threaten her, she wouldn't be getting contacted by my actual phone number. People are so gullible. Yeah, well, and here's the thing: we don't even know if it was your own phone number. We don't know if it
Mhm.
was a boner number. We nobody knows this.
Correct.
Anyways, so Sparky started calling him out. I had no idea what Quantum TV is, and between Sparky and Jacob, I've learned a lot about a guy never knew
It never
existed.
existed. Yeah, I mean,
Jacob who? Jacob?
Jacob Marley.
No, Jacob Morley. Okay.
Maybe, who knows? He probably been spending some quality time.
Well, I didn't know what Jacob he was talking about.
I know there's so many different Jacobs out there.
Yeah, but anyways, it's like yeah, we don't know if it's your actual number, man. So it's like, again, do you want to put it out there and Atman, confirm it? Be more than glad. You'll be getting a lot of phone calls. So you saying that your actual phone number, again, we don't know. So you can't say that.
Our Sandman. Oh, that Jacob. Oh. Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
Navarre, he's talking about this.
I'm not surprised that he would kind of get latched onto this. He tends to do that every now and then. I mean, come on, it's Jake.
Well, like I said, I'm only attached to this because of things that happened to me before in the past. That's why I'm not. That's why I'm not worried about the whole threats or the whole
I
doxing thing
only
or the
wanted
whole
to bring up
bigotry.
that all it is he for me he's just bringing out the worst for the terms of service of abuse, and that's about it. Just point out that he's
I don't
completely
even
wrong,
care. I don't even
and
care
that's it.
about the terms of service right now. I'm not even going at them for that. I'm going at them for the blatant copyright abuse. Like down here, this is what we're gonna get
That
to.
is
It's like,
basically part of the terms of service, the copyright abuse.
well, yes, well, it is. Yeah, it's the point. Yes. Anyways, I appreciate that. I think that's the first time anyone actually treated me like a human being in this drama. Well, you gotta act like one for you to be treated like one.
Mhm.
Fact is, Fact is, if I threatened his mom, why do I use my actual phone number again? We don't know if it's your actual phone number. Why am I not arrested if his mom was actually threatened? It's because that's not how this works. Quantum. If all these YouTubers got copyright struck, why can't they show anything besides claims that got rejected until I prove more info to YouTube? You showed the proof. You Rags caught you
Yeah.
plugging a channel. I caught you because the email you put out there or that you got from YouTube listing, hey, these two channels, you say it was fake and it was not you, but yet you got the notification through YouTube. You click on one of those links, says video removed by Quantum TV. So that's 2. And then Atman gets 1, that's 3. And then we had the email exchanges between you and Griffin back a year ago on the Xbox PlayStation 3. That's 5 or 6 now. And then the stuff you did back and forth with Mischief, there you go. We have all the fucking proof, and half of it came from your own fucking mouth.
Yep.
And your screenshots. So we have the proof. And YouTube is not. What more information is YouTube gonna get you? What you gotta give YouTube? What? Proof that, they violated copyright? Dude, it's fair use. There is no proof. It's transformative work.
Correct.
Stop on this fucking denialist fucking motive. You're a dumbass.
Yeah.
So it's anything besides claims that got rejected until I provide more information, info to YouTube. If I was banned, why do I still have an account? Dude, it's very easy to ban evade.
Yeah.
All thing you need is a different computer and different email.
Yeah.
And different phone. That's all you need. As long as it's not the same IP, unless it's IP locked to your actual web address or your IP address to your house, which should not even be a thing. It's usually IP locked to an area on your computer, on your phone. That's how the IP. That's how the IP ban is, like on a phone. You can get a Twitter ban, and then go on Twitter on that same phone and swap a new account. Well, you'll still be banned because this IP shows that on this phone it was banned. But you can buy a new phone and get around that. Yes, Masquatch, even a VPN. But even a VPN though does not work because a VPN just masks the travel from point A to point B. So instead of going from point A to point B, it shows it going from point A to point M to point P to point C, then to point B. A VPN does not hide the IP of the actual machine or the actual location it's going to. It only covers tracking. That's it. It still has to have the machine ID IP number. The computer, a phone, will have its own IP. You can hide the traffic of where you're at or where you're going to get around stuff, but it's still going to be registered to that machine's IP.
You can switch your networks and you can use a
Oh
version.
no, you can change the IP of a machine. Well, a computer it's
Yeah.
easy enough to change the IP on. Phone, that's a little bit different.
A little bit, but it still uses the same kind of computer technology for the most part.
Okay, yeah. But it's like, yeah, it's easy to get around a ban on
Yes.
YouTube. Why do I still have
Yeah.
this account? All right. And what do you mean? Why do I still have? Oh, why do I? I thought this account. Okay, why do I still have the account? All right. But I never disavowed my hack tweets. If I never disavowed my hack tweets, why is the month's old video still? You don't
Uh,
have a video up disavowing your hack. You don't have anything up providing or saying
uh,
that you were
uh,
hacked.
Also, all the tweets that he had that were considered racist and homophobic, he's never denounced them for the most part, or taken them down. They're still up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. You never done anything like this. Quit lying, man.
So, I mean, for me personally, if my account was hacked, I'd wipe everything and start fresh. But for him, he just simply kept it all up there for some reason. Kind of odd.
Yeah. And you can't use the excuse, oh, I don't know how to hit the delete button on Twitter. Dude, you're counting yourself a fucking TV calibrator. You're on Reddit all the time. You're on Discord all the time. Ask, hey, how do you remove comments? This happened to me. Or
Yeah,
fuck, look it up on YouTube. Hey, how do I delete comments off Twitter? They're all how-to videos.
yeah, it
As
is.
stupid as it is.
Hell, I think Rags has already told you how to do so. There it
Yeah.
is.
Um, like, at every turn, this shit has been blown way out of proportions. No, you just keep doubling down, and every time you double down, it's like a times 10. Every time you double down, people jump on by the 10th power
Mhm.
because you double down. That is completely on you. Now here's the part that was circled around. Is like, I really don't care, but it's like, I wish the most painful death on everyone involved in this massive smear campaign. Dude, you act stupid online, you get called out for it. It's called accountability, man.
Yeah,
Your stupidity makes me wish for the worst death you have ever had, too. Just because your idiotic takes are so mind-numbing, it's instead of putting the people that are in pain out of misery, they need to put the source out of this fucking misery. Quantum, go fuck
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, Quantum needs to learn how to take the L and move away from the entire subject. Just
And he's done a good job on YouTube. He just won't keep his fucking mouth shut anywhere else.
yeah, well, that's the problem. He still thinks that he is in the right, and even though he's been proven multiple times that he isn't, he's still going to say that he
Well,
is. And
and that's the thing. That's what this is going to continue to get worse because you're going to become the internet's new little rage pig. Trust me.
pretty much,
Internet's big enough for more than one rage pig.
yeah,
Rouse found that out the hard way.
yeah. Fortunately, Ralph has fallen from his Gamergate grace. It was inevitability on Ralph. It was just inevitability. Oh yeah, they're trying to bring back Gamergate. Did you hear that? Have you heard about this?
Somewhat. Ain't gonna be successful.
I mean, come on. They're trying to say that Amber Heard is a victim to Gamergate. This thing hasn't been around for quite some time. 2014, 2015, kind of somewhere around that. Like, we're done. It's over. Move on. Get a fucking hobby, people. Just get. Fuck. It's over.
Yeah, well, we can talk a little bit about Johnny Amber Hood here in a minute, but, so, Sparky, when does Quantum get to be interviewed by Chrissy Meyer?
I don't think it will ever happen.
Uh, why's that name sound familiar?
Uh,
I'm drawing. I don't know. I don't know the reason why I'm drawing blank for what you said, man. Squatch.
Really?
Yeah, I am.
Let's
Dude, I
see.
am. I am so fucking hungover. It's not funny.
No, I get it. It's just like the first instance I hear about Chrissy Myers, I think of the was it relationship person. Specify for me, man Squatch.
Oh no, no. Okay, no. I've seen that. I've seen that. Um. Yeah. When Ralph was on talking to her because she was interviewing him, and they pulled up. She was doing super chats, and one of the super chats was basically rehashing the pill cast, whenever Ralph was like stone fucking whatever. He was so fucked up that he told his mom to walk home in the desert, and then
Okay.
she chuckled because she didn't realize that that was not true. Or she didn't realize that that was true. She thought it was just somebody doing a super chat.
Oh
And
wait, are we talking about that event with the whole Jack Murphy thing?
no, it was not the whole Jack Murphy thing, but they did talk
Because
about it.
but that's the same Chrissy Myers, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, no, it's the same one. It's the same thing. Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
That's the only
Yeah, that one.
that's
Yeah,
the
it's.
only reason why, like I said before, I know certain names for certain reasons. I didn't even realize that Ralph was
Oh no,
even
yeah, no,
playing
no.
upon that.
She got interviewed last week. Rakita talked to her afterwards because, oh, he went sideways on. Oh, actually, you know what? We'll watch it. Let me go. Let me go grab something real quick, and we'll watch that
Okay,
clip real quick.
okay, all right, all right. We will take a deep dive on this. Uh, more Kiwi farm speak stuff. I got it. All right, we're going into that level. Thank you, man, Squatch. I love you so much. Well, you better not come up towards the BC area. I'm gonna hunt you down like the Yeti that you are. We don't have any rules like they have in Seattle's where we're not supposed to harass that Sasquatch. No. Up here, we gun them down. Call it a day. No. Sorry, not up here. They're not considered a protected class whatsoever. Not even Ogopogo is considered a protective class. That bitch is available for hunting. Yeah, so don't come to Canada, especially avoid BC like the plague.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to find my phone, and I don't know where my phone is. Um.
It could be at the bar. It could be in a pant leg somewhere. It could be in that lovely hair of yours, not knowing.
Well, I'll 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 basically share my screen with you
Mhm.
because I can't show this online.
All right, let me see what I'm supposed to do here. Right, I go to this thing, and then I go to that thing, and then okay. Apparently, I'm already in this thing. Okay, thank you. And then I go there, and then watch stream. All right, finally, I'm watching. Okay.
So basically, and you guys can't see this. I'm sorry, but the guy that's in the guy with the shaved head and the glasses, he's one of my best friends. He's a lawyer,
Uh,
and he just won a really good case, and is out celebrating that night. Well,
yeah.
he when he gets out celebrating, he celebrates driving the fucking wheels off the bus.
Yeah. No, I've got friends like that. I do like the hat though.
Thank you. But
I
anyways,
I prefer the hat in black, but still, it's a very lovely white hat. Would that be considered a 5 gallon or is that a 2 gallon?
2 gallon,
2 gallon? Okay.
two
See,
gallon.
yeah, okay.
But anyways, and the girls, one of the friends, one of the dancers at the bar. Anyways, he ended up buying me like 12 back-to-back shots of SoCal Line.
Uh huh.
And I'm doing the last three right now because he bought three, we chugged them, he bought 3 for each of us, and we all chugged them. And he's like, "Well, I didn't see you chug it." He's like, "Okay." He bought me 3 more. Then again, he's like, "Well, I didn't see you do that time either." I'm like, "Fuck, watch." And I did 3 more, and it's like, "Oh, I missed it that time." I was like, "Fuck." All right, I'm getting the fucking video camera out. Here, bartender, just videotape this. And this is me taking the last 3 fucking shots.
Do you think that was he was setting you up for a fall? All right.
And I was not expecting her ripping her titties out like that.
Yeah, no, that is a you know, I guaranteed you were gonna watch this time.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
You have to circle back in order to catch the last bit. Yes, so no.
Yeah.
I think he was playing the game of I can see you do it's 9 more shots you have to drink.
I don't know. Oh fuck, that was. Yeah. All right, so I want. Which one was it?
You can't have a pony.
Well, he did a stream. I can't remember how long ago, but I want to watch Rakita's stream. And I don't remember which one it was. It wasn't that long ago. Oh, yes, the meltdown. I think here's it. Yeah, this is it. Let me go ahead and share this.
More watching of stuff. All right.
Yeah, let me pop this out. Live chat out. Pop out chat. Damn it. Finally.
Gotta pop it out. Hello, Wesley. You just in time to watch Sparky pop things out.
Poppity pop.
Pretty much. So
Okay. So I want
so
capture.
this is a reaction on Rikita Law and Cressy Myers based off of the Ethan Ralph Cressy Myers conversation that they had a while back. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's all fun and games.
Oh, here we go.
I was just thinking the idea. So I was so uninformed. What was the last one?
Well, okay, so Xander is the name his first child who he is not does not have contact with. So that's
Okay.
So what's interesting about Ralph, when you've been through this is like a support group, you and me right here. We're like Ralphaholics Anonymous.
Oh.
But when you've been through this for a while, Ralph assumes that you know everything that's going on in his life encyclopedically. Like you were supposed to know the date that his mom died and have processed in your mind that he's through whatever stage of grief. Because he gets on you about this. Like, we talked about it the other day. I talked to you personally.
Does he know the date my mom died? Probably not.
I do, but only from your Wikipedia page.
Oh.
So here we go. Here's the
it's a little arrogant to assume that everyone knows. Like, we're not close friends, so I know I wouldn't know that.
I'll mildly correct you. It's not arrogance. It is histrionics.
Oh.
It's again, if you watch the Amber Heard thing, this is her to a T. Everything's about him, or in her case, her. Everything is about her at all times, and everything's personal. So here we go.
Kiranu, pull up the Pillstream clip where Ralph tells his mom to hitchhike in the summer heat to her dialysis appointment. Really? That's kind of funny.
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly what he means by the Pillstream clip, but why didn't he send?
You don't know what
He
he means by
seems
the.
fine. He doesn't seem like, oh my god, I'm so upset by that. Like, he seems like like he reacts like he did all the other super chats that were like, okay.
Yeah.
People
So how
saying
long
stuff.
does he last from this question before it really comes out? Well, I could just let it run. We'll let it run.
Actually,
Okay.
just,
That's true.
yeah.
All right, only 2 more. K-Max, does the online left feud
Is that funny, by the way? Is that funny?
Oh, right there.
The
30 seconds.
idea is kind of funny that, like,
You have any clips of your dead mom when you were arguing with her? Do you think that's funny?
do I have a clip of her?
Yeah, do you have some clips where you were talking shit to your dead mom? Would you think it was funny if I was to pull that up?
To be clear, he wasn't talking to his dead mom. He was talking to his live mom at the time. So
Right.
that's again.
Maybe, depending on the clip. If it was funny.
I don't think you'd probably laugh if I was to pull that up and start talking about it. Take money.
I don't have any
Take
clips
money to
of
sit here
her.
and talk about it. I don't think you would think that was too funny.
I feel like I touched a nerve and I didn't mean to. I just think
I'm
like
asking
there
you.
aren't any clips.
Hey, I'm just asking you if I had that clip and I pulled it up
You
right
had
now.
a clip of my
$5
mom.
fucking dollars to pull that clip up. Would you think it was funny?
If it was a funny clip, then
If they pay me $5 fucking and they said, "Hey, Chrissy, here's your dead mom. Here's you talking shit to her." Would you think that's funny?
well, I've never talked shit to her like
I'm asking you a direct
if
question.
such a clip existed. If I had talked shit to my
clip
mom,
probably could exist. I think you probably talked a lot of shit to your mom, actually.
why would you think that?
But yeah, no, this is kind of that's Ralph.
Yeah, no, he likes to he likes to insist that everybody knows about his entire life. Yeah, I barely knew.
And there's something happened.
I barely knew that he had kids. That's how much I've been playing along, the Ralph Wiggum storyline. Oh God. But again, it's been
and
from Grace multiple different times.
well, and he was also streaming on his own channel, and this is what happened afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna play a clip, but it's got a bunch of copyrighted music in it, so I'm not gonna.
Should I sing over it?
I'm not gonna play that one. I'm gonna play this one. Everybody should check out Lofty Pixels, but here, this is something. I think this is recent. I think this might have been just a little bit ago or something. Here we go.
Me, bitch! I'm telling you to your fucking face right fucking now, bitch! You're a fucking whore! You're a no.
This is not to you, by the way. I believe this is to Brittany Venti.
Oh my god.
Good scumbag fucking whore! Do you understand me, Brittany fucking Venti?
Nailed it.
What did she ever do?
It was about Brittany
And this is
Venti.
like
Okay.
And this was like right after that stream because I guess Brenty came on and she talked to Chrissy. It's like, yeah, no, he's just a scumbag loser. And it's true, he is.
I mean, she's not that far off. He is a loser. Scumbag. I think he's further down the road than that, but sure. A lolcow, he's always going to be that. With his cultist following. Have you noticed that his following has kind of gotten down to a cultist level?
The only followers and views he gets are hate views and hate ones.
Which is kind of like a cultist following if you kind of look at it that way.
We got Mr. Gamer. I've never seen you before. Add moderator, have a wrench because we are original state.
Y'all discussing Alicorn, and we did briefly, and we moved on. We've dipped our toe in that and decided to go completely hog wild into the Ralph.
Yeah, we're talking about different events. Now, we haven't talked, and I know the reason why is because I believe I still got the hashtags for Quantum and Acerthorn in this, which is all good because I'm gonna pick it up every now and then and talk about it.
Well, again, we did, like I said, we did briefly talk about it in the top of the show. So, I mean, really, if you really want to, you can always circle back. Well, how long have we been doing this? It feels like we've been doing this already an hour. Because anything that has Ralph in, I feel like I'm
55.
aging faster.
55 minutes is what we've been streaming for. So
Okay,
yeah,
cool. Like you said.
you could probably go back about 30 minutes, and that's when we were talking about Quantum. We have not brought up acerthorn because there's been no developments in that. There's really nothing to talk about. Now, have there been motions and filings in the court case? Probably, but I'm not the channel to talk about the motions and filings. I mean, you can go to one of the LawTube channels that have been talking about this. I know Leonard French, he hasn't done any kind of a update on it, but I know he's talked about acerthorn. I'm real interested in seeing what's going to happen. I hope, and yes, I know, it sucks for the people that's in the case that got drugged into this by acerthorn, but I do hope the case does go through in court. I do hope it does not get dismissed. I hope it goes through its legitimacy. YouTube is in on this. Google is in on this now. And hopefully this sets some sort of case precedence to basically prevent, well, not prevent, but, you know, showcase, hey, this is what happens when you abuse the actual system.
Yeah, this is a big thing that the Alphabet company is going to have to deal with majorly, and all of the little umbrella little corporations that they have. Yeah, this is a huge abuse. This needs to stop, and only they can actually stop this going forward.
Well, and you know what? And there's what was it? Leonard French, and it sucks that there are copyright abusers on the platform. There's all sorts of abusers on every platform. It's a thing. It's gonna happen.
The easiest way in order to get rid of those abusers is give them at least a couple of strike policies. If you want to keep certain levels of availability for the client itself, you would have to put in a couple of different counter policies that come into play, and it has to be across the board. It can't be just selective here and there. It needs to be blanketed across the board. You abuse these particular terms, we're going to give you a warning. We're going to, if perchance you fail on these different levels, then you're removed completely. And if we're caught finding out that you are utilizing a different account or whatever, you're just going to be non-existent.
And I really
Google can do it.
And here's what I think. And unfortunately, this has got to take a change in the law, and it's also got to take into effect a change of policy too at some of these companies. But like one of the things I think would happen that would be beneficial and good, because YouTube does have now a two-part DMCA system. The first part is it's an instant takedown. You follow DMCA, and it takes the video down. The second portion of that is a 7-day takedown. So you warn the person, it gives them 7 days to, you know, you talk to them or whatever, anything like that. And then if nothing's resolved or anything's came to, the video gets taken down. It gives the person a chance to take the video down without getting strike and stuff like that. I think they need to implement that more. But they need to add stuff to it. Like, for instance, if you go through and follow DMCA, I feel like that, yes, I think the 7-day window is a good idea. No, give the people, you know, you put them on notice. You put them on notice, hey, I feel like you stole my content. I feel like you stole the work. Take this down now, or I will take this down. And then you hash it out between the two parties. If nothing's resolved, the takedown happens. If the takedown happens, it gives the user, okay, no, I'm filing a counterclaim against this because I tried talking to them, they won't listen. It is fair use, reinstate my video, and give that counterclaim. But I also feel like that right there, that should be it. Yeah, it sucks for the copyright holder, but at that point, YouTube has fulfilled its safe harbor policies, and from that point, it needs to go to a court of law. YouTube should not give the ability to restrike the video back to that person. There is no restriking the video. They basically said, no, I'm countering this. Take me to court. And then it goes to court. I feel like that's what needs to happen. That will circumvent the system being abused and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
But again, that's the safe harbor provisions in the law have to be restructured to allow that, because right now they have to instantly take it down to prevent harm. And in this day and age, it's like instantly it's not gonna work anymore.
Well, I mean, this kind of falls back on for example, for anybody who has been playing along for the YouTube space when it first came around. Fabulous Secret Powers is a good precedent on the copyright, or at least the abuse. The artist Slack Circus, they made the song, they did the animation, all that kind of stuff. They don't get the credit. Somebody else got the credit for them. They then put in for the copyright strike. The video was taken down. They got a lot of slack from people like ourselves who did not know that they were the original creators. They eventually kind of said, you know what, we'll just keep up the other version while we try to make bank from our version. So realistically, there's a level of abuse and there's a level of acceptance. And unfortunately for somebody like David Stebbins, I guess that's his name.
David Stebbins, yes.
Yeah, he's got to stop with the abuse. And
same with Quantum.
I know and it's an ongoing thing. It's a rinse and repeat thing. He's done it with Microsoft, and now he's going to
done it with Google. He's done it with everyone.
Yeah, and now he's decided to go even further and going into the Alphabet company itself. And it's not. This is where these companies just turn around and say, yeah, this particular person is no longer allowed to use our particular materials, and they could do it.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Gamer, we will get to your comment in just a minute. Your thoughts on fair use as a whole. I believe me and Rogue will be more glad to share our views on this, but let's finish on this one topic real quick. But it's like, no, there's a case out there with Bungie that got passed. Well, not passed. They went to court because somebody was imitating. You know, curiously enough, it sounds a lot like the whole Kamiso's GmbH thing that I dealt with on my channel back, a couple months ago. A company impersonating an actor for a company to take down content to gain the monetary revenue from that video. And that's why they do it, because they get the monetary revenue off that video whenever they issue a strike on that video. Well, the revenue that had not been processed or sent to you yet, which, I hope you like all that money that I don't monetize on my videos, so yeah, have at it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it went to court about people actually abusing the system or faking that they're part of someone. There's a couple of people DMCAing gameplay footage because of the copyright ID system. Again, something that Quantum was doing, using or utilizing the content ID system, saying, oh no, that's my content, it gives me the right to flag it. Well, you can do the same thing in gameplay. If you have enough gameplay, or if you play the game so many times than someone else has, and you have content ID on, it can easily bring, because this happened to Tonkasaw. I think it was on Cuphead. And he was playing Cuphead, and it's like, hey, do you want to, monetize these videos or take these videos down? Because we've seen the exact same content on these YouTubers' channels. And it gave him the ability to be able to take that stuff down. He never did, but he made light of it. The system is broke. It does not mean that you have the right to do this. It's that you've got to take fair use into account. Now, when it comes back down to fair use, what are my takes and thoughts on fair use?
Well, I'm going to have to ask the basic question. When you say fair use, your definition going forward, again, it comes back down to Mr. Gamer going forward, because I'm a Canadian. We have different standards for fair use, even though kind of it's similar to an American style of fair use, where Americans have a different version of fair use. Hell, you go to the UK, they have a different standards of fair use. So I need to know going forward what your thought process going on that one. Are we talking about American,
Well,
or are we talking about the broad spectrum globally speaking?
well, let's put it to it like this. Let's use America for this because YouTube has to follow the fair use guidelines for America. They're not beholden to other countries.
But they do tend to try to.
They do
bend
try to utilize it, but I think if we're talking about YouTube, we probably need to stick with the Americans because that's where they go through it on it.
No,
would
I
say.
understand, but like I said before, they tend to kind of step all over their version of fair use in the United States to comply with all the other people's areas of fair use. Henceforth,
Yeah.
you know what happened with you for a Germany thing. That's them stepping all over themselves, fucking shit up, not following their own rules. So
Yeah.
this is where
Now-
we have to.
Oh, we got a
So-
dragon in the house.
Yeah,
Whoop,
eventually
whoop.
get a dragon.
Well, alright, before you say anything, Dragon, and Mr. Gamer, this is an open forum show, live stream. Anyone that's in my Discord is more than welcome to come onto the show and talk and discuss things. If you want to come on and actually have a verbal conversation, you're more than glad to. Just hop into the Discord. The link should be in the chat. Join my Discord. It's up about 4 or 5 chats what I can see on the screen right now. Join in Discord. I'll give you a role. Go down in the bottom in the voice chat VC called Robot Masters. Jump on in if you want to have a voice-to-voice conversation.
Before we continue there, Sparky,
Yeah.
I think we should probably get Dragon up to speed. We're kind of going over a question from Mr. Gamer. Your thoughts on fair use as a whole. So, if you, that's the question there. That Mr.
You
Gamer.
know for a fact that Dragon have just jumped into the chat, not
No,
knowing what's
I know.
going on.
Of course. So he's having his fun doing his thing, still probably playing Final Fantasy 14, I assume, correct?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, no, hang on. No, I've got to look at this real quick. Time out.
Wesley is yet again laughing. Be amused, Wesley.
Okay, no, it's like you got yourself a different avatar. I like that. That's nice.
He does that every now and then. Like I do that every now and then. I mean,
Anyways, let me go ahead and answer his question. Mr. Gamer's question. My thoughts on fair use. I try to stick to the basis of the law. Now, fair use is a overall defense. It's not a matter of actual law. So it's not like oh, well, it's fair use, it's within law. It's like, no, fair use is a defense, but fair use has to be taken into account before you strike a video. So fair use basically means it's like how much of the work was used to illustrate the purposes of the work that's being done. Like, so for me on Anime Watch Club, STC Watch Club, my other channel, for me, I use as much as I need to. I used to use all of it, but what the trouble I have with Kamisos, they are a fake company. They do not represent anime studios. They are based in Germany. It's real funny that a company based in Germany is filing copyright claims for a Japanese production. It just seems a little sus. But along with that, it's like, so with me, we utilize the whole video during my recording. So it's basically we sit down, we talk about the video at first, or the episode's coming up. You know, what happened in the previous episode, what we're expecting this episode, talk a little bit about that. Get into the video as the video's playing, comment and critique on what we have seen as the video is being played. And then afterwards talk about it, give our thoughts, our opinions, what we liked, what we disliked, and kind of talk about what we're expecting next going forward with the next episode. My videos are blotted out. They have filters over them to distort the actual film. You can see the footage still, but it's not showcased. That's not what I want people there for. I want people there for the talk and the commentary. Oh, he's in. All right, give me a second.
Yeah, he is.
Give me a second.
Anyways, how have you been doing there, Dragon?
All right.
That's good to hear.
Robot Masters. Okay.
We're about to get a newbie in here.
Okay, you're in. You just need to jump into Robot Masters. It's very bottom now.
Oh, goody.
Thank you for making you a mod. Well, you're not a mod in the Discord, and
Yeah.
you're not a mod in YouTube. It's kind of hard to mod other mods.
Hello.
Ah, there we go. We got Mr. Gamer in the
yes.
house.
Yes, YouTube, he pretty much gives the wrench freely to everybody who shows up. As for this, you're just, hi.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's original state.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm gonna have to turn you up on my end.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do the same thing.
I'm gonna put you up to about 150 so I can hear you. So,
yeah, what's up, yeah? How you guys doing?
we do great. We do great. I do great from a little area called Canada, British Columbia. He does great, and I have no idea what state, but
Oklahoma.
Ah, nice. Regarding the whole fair use of precedents of like court case, like lawsuits and all that. The two great examples of like fair use are those that have been utilized to demonstrate what's fair use and what isn't is the Sargon of Akkad situation, H3 versus Matt Haas. Those are nowadays can be used to signify what constitutes as fair use.
And that is true, but the problem is this fair use is still not, it's a defense. That's what fair use is. It's not really signified anything of copyright. Someone can still claim the copyright. There are some things that others will consider fair use that may not be. So at the end, that's why it's still relegated down to a defense. And I believe they also wrote that into some. I think they wrote that in the Sargon of Akkad and the H3 case of fair use is a ultimate defense. It must be tested, and the only way to test that is within the court system. There's no way to really implement that out in the wild like this. It's up to the discretion of the person making the content and the person claiming the content. That's why they say you must take fair use to account.
Holder and the uploader.
Yes.
The copyright owner and the copyright holder.
Yeah. In the case of Hillary Clinton, she had a very long video, and Sargon was able to clip it down to even shorter to prove that her statement could be countered in her own video. So that's basically it. She just decided to double down and considered it as video theft.
Yeah. Which, there has not been a case on it, but it is real questionable. And at the end of the day, Aquila did have a strong case of, what about it was it transformative? I mean, if you look at the basis of, there was theories about it. And it's theorized because he took the video and made it into something else. He took the video and made it something that was not the original video. It conveyed a different message, different titling, and stuff like that. The problem is...
they clipped together or something like that? And then
he changed
the title?
Yeah.
That was apparently enough?
That was enough. That was enough. But here's the thing: at that point in time, it was a theory. It had not got to court. It's nothing like that had been battled about anymore. And the Aquila Hughes and Sargon case was a really, really nail-biting case to watch because that needle was already right down the middle of trying to get better fair use and better security for content creators. If that case were went the other direction, that would open up a whole can of worms for, flip channels or, reactionary channels. It would open up a door to kind of, okay, we've got our foot in the door, let's get the crowbar out, start prying on it, see what other legal precedences that we can make to stop this. Fortunately, the courts look at it like this. They want more inclusivity and they want more transformative works because that broadens the sphere. They want to promote creativity, not to stifle it. By saying, no, you can't do this because this is against copyright, that kind of stifles that. That's why they have the fair use
Yeah.
aspect.
Also, you have to remember that even in movies, there is that 25% different. So you can have something that's very similar. So as long as there's a degree of change, so that you can't fall back on the copyrights that
This
you do.
there's actually a really good case back into the 90s actually, and it
Yeah.
was Mattel versus, I think it was Mattel versus Aqua on the Barbie Girl song.
Oh yeah, it would have been Mattel.
That was a copyright trademark case. Actually, it's more
copyright the gray area, by the way.
Yes.
it is a very gray area.
Which is the reason why I asked when your terms of copyright and trying to figure, because again, each area of the globe has their different variances of what is considered copyright or fair use.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does depend. Like I said, when I look at people like acerthorn and Quantum TV, Akila Hughes, Matt Haas, all these other people that they've clearly
Susie
abused. Actually, no,
Yeah.
Susie Lou hasn't. Susie Lou.
Well, no, I get where you're going with that. Yes, you can also put it into the category if you wish. She does have legal standing. She did.
What? Time out. You're talking about the DMCA she filed, right?
But didn't she do like DMCA abuse?
No, all right. So here's the thing, and here's where it goes down. Commentary community, faggots like Augie, Tipster, Bo Blacks, John Swan, all them took something that was a nothing burger and made it into a big overblown deal that was bullshit. So here's the way the story went. This is even after talking to Susie Lou myself, because I actually had to thank her and her boyfriend because they are two of the people that helped me get my channel back from Cameso's GmbH, because they helped get into contact with some higher ups at YouTube to kind of look at my channel and go, no, this is fair use. So you can kind of call my opinion maybe a little biased, but what happened was she DMCA'd one video. She legitimately did DMCA one video because somebody took a clip and of her, and it was a bad clip. She was embarrassed by it. They took her content, so she filed a DMCA strike. Now, here's what the difference is, and this is why I was stuck with Susie Lou. This happened. A week went by. Her and this guy talked. She took the DMCA down. She was wrong. She admitted that. She took it down and moved on from it. These other people started going at her for it because of the fact she does anime reactionaries and started saying that she was stealing content. Now, the whole Susie Lou thing, when somebody brings it up, I look at them and I go, okay, this is going to go one of two ways. Either you're going to say, okay, this is DMCA abuse. Alright, fine. If it is, she took it down. She says she made a mistake and she moved on from it. Or the second portion is, oh no, she steals content. Which, they're also the same people that goes, oh, well, fair use.
Yeah.
And they become hypocrites because the same people that try to call her out for, oh, she steals content and stuff like that, one of their main people, Bo Blocks, has a clip, well, not a clip, a mirroring channel. He calls it a archive channel. So he basically takes whole full streams, whole full videos of other people's and put it up there for archiving reasons, which is a bullshit reason and it's actual theft of a video. So
that's only theft. That's only theft if the actual copyright holder decides to make claim of it and to take it down. Like I said before, it becomes kind of a weird zone.
A weird zone, but the problem is they want to call out. My whole issue with the whole thing was they wanted to call out Susie Lou for stealing anime content when she was doing a transformative walk on it, but their own person is stealing whole clips of other YouTube channels and putting it up on their channel and calling it archiving and not call him
Well,
out for it.
I
That's
did
my whole
point out
point.
that Slack Circus, again, their own content was ripped and put up on YouTube,
Yeah.
and they tried to stake claim back of it to pull down the original ripped content, and they got a lot of slack from their own fan base or fan bases of that channel, saying that they were the first ones to create this. Why are you doing this to a great song? In actuality, when you look at the history of it, they're the ones that created it. They're the ones that produced it. They're the ones that put it up on other media sources, but they failed to put it up on YouTube.
And he's definitely all right. No, he's back now. Okay, it's
Yeah.
like
I was watching something. Sorry, I was watching something.
no,
Yeah,
it's
it's
all good. It's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, it is kind of like a weird, touchy subject when you get into the copyright aspect of it. And my personal focus is the abuse of the copyright, not really.
Well, did you know about the situation that happened with Kai Weiss and that whole thing that happened?
Actually, I don't know. I haven't. That's the first time I've heard that name. You read?
I was
So
no,
he-
I would
he-
have to
he
get some
basically
info on that.
He filed a copyright strike on another content creator named Akumu for, even though they had like a 38, maybe 40-minute video, like, you know, debunking all of their points, Kai's point, and doing it in a very transformative way. You know, like they would play some of his content and then they'll commentate over it. They play it again, you know, the same old thing of fair use. And it triggered him so much that he filed a strike on it and got that video removed, despite the fact that it was fair use, like undoubtedly fair use, and he got a lot of flack for it. And instead of realizing that that's fucked up of you to do, and you know, to remove that, retract the strike, and then have that video back up, you know, reinstated, he instead doubled down on it and was basically saying everybody was wrong but him. And then things got more and more crazier afterwards. And as of now, there's even more crazy shit that's happened. Like, and yeah, the whole thing happened. John Swan got caught wind of it. He actually debated Kai. Kai was trying to like shift the goalpost. And, you know, like the 2-point fallacy, all different types of manipulative tactics to try and undermine John's critiques of him, even when he was showing the documents of the two cases that I brought up earlier.
Yeah.
And Kai would not let him speak. He would not let him explain or elaborate to him how fair use actually worked. And he was a massive hypocrite. That filed a strike on somebody else or told somebody else that they left out context in their video, but yet he himself was doing relatively the same shit, or like was getting angry at people for not putting in the full context in their video, stuff like that. You know, very hypocritical statements. So that's the kind of stuff that was going on then.
Well, for one, that does sound like a very bad move. Yeah, I can't find anything on it. It sounds like something that you brought up John Swan.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, regardless of your take on John Swan, yes or no, he does have some legitimacy.
He has some.
He recently did something. Y'all probably know what it is.
No, he basically tried to implicate somebody as a pedophile and basically rewrote the whole document to make it sound more damning than what it was.
Yeah, because Cammy had conversations of a sexual nature with a 15-year-old named Liz while he was 18, and tried to basically make it seem a lot worse.
He was actually 17 at the time.
Regardless of the factor 17, 18, by certain state laws or even by certain country laws, he would be in the actual that area where he could do dating with that particular person. So realistically speaking,
at the end of the day,
going out of your way to make a hit piece, that's where you get kind of scummy. I would have to have a lot of questions and want to have a good deep talk with somebody like Swan in order to.
You probably saw a lot of videos talking about it too, and a lot of tweets going back and
Actually,
forth in regards to it.
Honestly,
I'm
to be really frank, when it comes down to John Swan, I really don't pay attention to him that much.
I'm actually in the middle of watching Augie video that he's doing a reaction on of somebody
He
talking
recently
about
made
John.
another video on it, yeah.
Yeah. Now Augie, I don't have too many issues with Augie anymore. He's kind of stepped down and he's kind of went, oh fuck no, it's he realized he made it boo boo and kind of stepped back and dialed it back a little bit. People like Bo Blacks and Tipster and John have not, but as far as I know, is look, I've listened to John Swan's takes on copyright. He's a complete dumbass. I'm sorry. He's right on a lot of things, but then he muddies the water with his own interpretations of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is the problem with people trying. Again, this is why I asked the basic question: what is your terminology for this? And once I know exactly where you're going with this, we could simply refute it or go with your particular terminology.
Well, and here's the problem I have. He basically has two different analogies he likes to go to every time. One analogy is you can make a transformative work of the Mona Lisa and sell it because it's not the Mona Lisa. And his second analogy is if you're on like a podcast like Joe Rogan and you record your end of the conversation and then upload it, that circumvents any kind of a, that's your own content, that's your own take of it, and you can put it up too. Actually, no.
It actually belongs to the studios, and studios have high-powered lawyers that will argue the case.
Yeah, so a lot of John Swan's straight takes are very idiotic. He's got the basic concept and the principles down of it. I don't know what his debate was with this Kaya Weiss guy, but I don't trust John Swan for anything on copyright because I've debunked him myself. Now, when it comes down to this Kaya Weiss guy and abusing the system, at that point, the problem is there's only so far you can do, and I don't know how big these channels are that you're talking about, whether they're a couple hundred, a couple thousand subs. You're really limited.
He had at least at the time when it was going down, I think. I know he had several thousands of subscribers. Like he had a rather, I guess not prominent, but he had enough of a following at the time. And when that was all going down, he doubled down on it. He made even more tweets, going on a really insipid Twitter rant about it, and more people were responding to it. He kept doubling down, maybe even tripling down at that point. And then he kind of was like trying to, I guess, have a pity party for himself, and he kept on like saying about how this was affecting him and that he was gonna do it, if you know what I mean. He was gonna off himself and all those stuff. And then he kind of like nuked all of his stuff after a while, and he even responded to John Swan, his response in his own live stream, and then he disabled all the comments on the videos, and then he pretty much nuked, after like making several community posts, nuked his YouTube channel, and he nuked his Twitter. He then did another Twitter, and then it was a repeat process. And where we are at now is that he is being allegedly accused of being a domestic abuser by his ex Omnia, which they're another content creator, and just a whole bunch of shit's been going down the drain with Kai Weiss ever since all that happened.
Well, it comes down to it like this. I'm more interested in the whole DMCA abuse. I could give a shit less if it was being his wife or not. I don't get into content like that. And really, that sounds like a question for the authorities and to go to a court of law and stuff like that, have that taken care of.
I don't know why a commentating channel is getting themselves involved in something like that.
Yeah, that's completely stupid and dumb. And as far as people blocking and stuff like that, and I am blocked and removed from being able to comment on John's videos, Augie's videos, Tipster's videos, Roblox videos, and I'm blocked by all of them on Twitter. So.
Well,
Well,
I'm not,
why?
and I haven't really been paying attention to them. I mean,
what happened, by the way?
it's
I
why did you block?
called them out for the bullshit, and they couldn't fucking prove me wrong.
I mean, you have to understand that commentary channels do have, they need to have a little bit of clickbaity kind of comments to have them be able to get a lot of views. They've been around for quite some time. They had a big thing once Gamergate was a deal. They had about a 3-year run. Then all of a sudden, everything kind of went tits up for them when they were slowly being decimated by other different controversies and allegations, usually against them. And some of them have pretty much lied about other certain things. So it is a complete pile of different issues with commentary.
Basically, and it was because of the whole Suzy Lou thing. Because as soon as you start calling them out, it's like, okay, you gotta call out Suzy Lou for this, call out Boblox for this. That was an instant block. Because they couldn't defend it. Because they're being hypocrites.
Well, I'm not happy that someone like Chris Hansen would probably go out of the process of maybe doing a whole doxing campaign, but then if it's publicly available information that's already out there, then it comes back down to what is the stipulation of doxings. And most people currently, since the whole doxing fiasco again, since the days of Gamergate has been around, they've kind of went from this is completely, the worst thing you could possibly do to a human being to it's acceptable so as long as you don't do this.
What are your thoughts on Def Noodle now trying to recently sue Keemstar?
Don't even know anything about it.
Def Noodle can try his best if he so wishes. If he has a standing on it, great, but he doesn't have any good standing on anything. He's just as bad as Keemstar for the most part. So realistically, let them have at each other. Again, Def Noodle's not going to be very successful on his allegations. He himself has a whack of different allegations against him already. So who are you going to believe?
Yeah. When it comes down to stuff like that, I'm not, like I said, I try to focus myself around one particular thing. Like a lot of things I like to talk about is DMCA abuse, and it's the ones I hear about. It's like I said, this Kyle Weiss guy, I've not heard of him. It not hit my radar, and it's got to get to a particular point for me to even really talk about it. But no, it is interesting. It sounds like he's suffering the same thing as what acerthorn and Quantum suffering from. There's a lot of different YouTubers out there that does that bullshit.
The Streisand effect. That's what it's called, the Streisand effect.
It is. And unfortunately, even for somebody like Def Noodle, who's been suspended by multiple different areas of our Twitter accounts or whatever, they bring this upon themselves. And again, they believe the old narrative that any level of publicity is good publicity. Problem is, in that mindset, you have to have a really good, rock solid company or IP going forward on it. And in the case of somebody like the commentary channels, they don't have a good rock solid IP. So any form of negative going towards them, it's just going to amplify because more and more people are going to be coming out, and their entire repetitive work is going to go further and further into the shitter. A good case and example was
good cases. Good cases.
Croton T is a good example for that one. He's a low level commentator channel. He decided to go hard on the alt right, the extreme right, and a lot of his content was questionable and false. But again, they were all considered hit pieces. The rest of the commentary channels or the rest of the comedy channels caught wind of this, made fun of the factor that he got all of this wrong, and all you have to do is have just a very base limited understanding of science or social kind of education, and you could pretty much debunk all of his stuff.
Who are you referring to, by the way?
Croton T. German commentator back in the day. He also claimed that he cut himself his noodle with an axe.
What?
Yes. He claims that he cut himself down below with an axe. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's got kind of a unique Kiwi Farms page.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. All you have to do
okay.
is look up Kraut NT, and yeah, you'll also apparently cods give birth. They get pregnant
Yeah.
and actually birth. And not lay eggs and what normal fish do. They give birth, according to him. So he actually had a complete quote unquote group of scientists to back up his claims, and not one of them were considered actual scientists.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I've had conversations with Kraut back 2 or 3 years ago. He's chilled out a lot since then.
I'm glad that he did, but I mean, he still has to.
Yeah,
take into
it's still
consideration
It's still out there. I know. It's what it is. Like I said, I ended up having a couple conversations with him whenever I was in Tonka's Discord when a lot of bullshit was going down with not me and Tonka, but because I talked to Tonka. So that's how I ended up running into him and talked to him, and it's. I really don't have any opinion on the whole fact of the matter because I don't know a lot about it. So I kind of keep my opinions to myself until I know more or I have a better understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, no. But again, he is a well-known. Oh, no, I was going to say well-known, but he was a medium-level German YouTuber who had some unique takes going forward, or the anti-social justice and all that kind of stuff. But overall,
that's very odd. By the way, that's pretty odd.
How so?
No, I'm just like, I'm still on the whole like, what was it? Circumcising himself with an axe?
Yeah, pretty much. We'll call it that one. Yes. That's his. He's put it out there. Those are the claims that were out in the interweb. So. Yeah, he has a Rational Wiki. He's got his Twitter is still around, Kraut T. He's now going on his YouTube channel, which is Kraut, I believe. You can pretty much go to Know Your Memes, find out all the information about his Discord, his leaks, and all that kind of stuff. A lot of
weird man. He sounds like a very interesting individual.
He was at the time, and then dust is settled. We all moved on.
Okay. So what happened after that happened? And all the information
he did what any other self-respecting person should do: disappear for a couple of years and then come back.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I don't know in what universe or what anime type shit you think that doing that would automatically just absolve you of everything, but apparently that's how it works.
They're taking the whole Russell analogy of how can people miss you if you don't go away.
Yeah,
that is the. I mean, it seems like everybody within the group kind of follows the basic statute or idea of professional wrestling in some way. So they create an actual image, an idea. They dial themselves up to 11. They create a bit of controversy, and then it just piles on. It snowballs to a point where they don't know how to control it, not realizing that a lot of wrestling is based on fabrications and make-believe.
Too much. All right, so I guess you have any more questions or any more, I guess, thoughts of different things you want to get opinions on?
I could send you the Kiwi farm for Kraut if you're that interested in.
I mean, if it's crazy, if it's crazy that's happened on Kiwi Farm, I mean, sure, send it my way. I could look at it.
It's crazy. It's a really good deep dive read.
It's really good. It's really good toilet reading.
It is. It is.
Rogue's
He
trying to
has.
say.
He has 188 pages, by the way.
Oh boy.
Yes.
There,
Yes.
there is lore there, so.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Oh,
is the axe circumcision shit in here as well?
Probably.
yes. 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 It is. Also, the electrified nipple claps are
Oh.
also in there as well. Yes. Yes. You have to read it. I am not going to give you any more spoilers for those who wish to take a deep dive on Joseph Lancaster. By all means, go for it. But yeah,
wait.
there's
Split penis?
electrified nipple clamps. There's
Split
splitting
penis?
of a penis. All of this
What?
is again. This is what he has claimed and put out there into the interweb.
Wow,
Shocking as it is.
All of these videos are. I see the YouTube account's been terminated. Did that happen to him?
He did that. He wiped out his account for a lot of different things. But as you go along, you'll find certain ones that still exist. But yeah, there's a lot of backstory to him. I can also send you Mr. Mediker's version of history if you want.
Apparently,
but that's also in there as well.
he was pretty good buddies with Sargon of Akkad.
Yeah, again, this is what happens with the commentator channels. They were all good friends, and again, this all happened around the same time frame.
They all eat each other after a while.
So Sargon of Akkad also has a kiwi farm?
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Huh.
So does Tonka. So does Aiden Paladin. So does Tonka.
Every
There's a couple
one
of
of the
them.
lol cows that we make fun of in the interweb.
Actually, Acerthorn. Acerthorn has a
he has
wiki.
his
Kiwi.
Yeah, they recently made that.
Yep.
To my understanding.
Yeah. Because the shits are crazy, and like I said, probably Quantum's gonna have a chapter in Kiwi Farm soon.
At this point, it would not surprise me.
I would say, if anything, if you want to take a deep dive on Mr. Menaker, I believe it's still available either on his. Oh, I think it's on his BitChute account, The Tales of Trout, which it's a 4-point extravaganza of the rise and fall of Croton tea. Yeah.
Mm.
It is. You can go to page like 188 or 188, and you'll see it kind of in the mid bar scrolling down. It is. I was there for the majority of it. I kind of walked away after he decided to claim that he sliced himself in twine with an axe. And going, this is you're. That's not how that works. But okay.
I don't see a thread in regards to Quantum TV yet, but I do see people talking about it on Kiwi Farms. People are talking about it. The Ackman video on Quantum TV, Review Tech USA and Quantum TV and all that. So I see
there's people talking about it.
That's how it starts. It's always you have the intrigue, then you do the gathering, and then after you get the gathering, then you do an actual thread. After the thread goes up, with all that all those deets, then all of a sudden you have all the other people just adding more to it or commentating.
And you gotta look at it like this too. The whole Acerthorn thing that's been up for a time because this all started back I think around last July with Acerthorn. So this it's not a new thing.
2014, I think it's been around. It's been around.
Yeah. Well, no,
he's done a lot of different lawsuits.
Yeah. It's been around for years at least.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stupid, questionable things.
Now, in terms of YouTube itself, that's probably been happening for a good year and a half.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why it's been added. You gotta look at the stuff Quantum TV. None of the stuff, and I'm not even for sure it might be under Quantum Apotheosis, his old YouTube account.
Yeah, no, a lot of it could be under his old account, Quantum Apotheosis. So that's what's his first account before he decided to.
He has 5 YouTube accounts, actually, YouTube channels. He has 5.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Yes, I know.
He has the one with his legal name.
He has 3 of them now.
He has the main. He has the main one. He's got the Quantum TV blog one, which he changed that to Controversial Truth. He got the Chemical XJ9 that supposedly is his gaming channel, and then he's got the what was the other one I was gonna say?
You know, I gotta say this much about Quantum. I never really stuck him for a Nickelodeon Kids fan.
Trying to think of the other one. Damn.
And I never really.
Gamers.
Yeah.
Next Gen Gamers. That's what it was called.
Yeah, I never really stuck him for like a Nickelodeon Kids TV thing because, you know, the Chemical XJ9's a play off of like, you know, Chemical X and Jenny XJ9 from I can't remember, My Life as a Teenage Robot. And then if you listen to his ending credits that he has for a lot of his videos, it's basically just a remix thing to Danny Phantom. So, and I've actually done a video on my channel because, again, it's like, I don't like hypocrisy, and I do call it out, especially when it comes down to when it gets to the copyright abuse. Because in his blog video, he states in one part of that video that, you know, Rich from Review Tech has took these 2 videos. Yes, it's 10%, but YouTube's given me the option to do it, so I can do it legally. It's like, no, that's not how this works.
According to him, he scolded YouTube support.
Okay.
You know, that's okay. You verbally assaulted someone that's in another country that's just sitting down reading from a fucking manual. Congratulations, you're a big man.
Okay, wow. Wow.
But no,
hang on. I do have to answer Zero Gold there. Say what Quantum TV is a what? A goddamn nagger. He's a person who annoys other people.
Yeah, he's a he is a nagger. But no, what that is like, you know, on his blog video that he has, is like, oh yeah, no, he shows 2 videos, and if you look them up, one is a Facebook reveal video. Okay, it's a cringy as fuck video. It's not really a Facebook reveal. It's a minute, some change. For 20-second outro. For 20-second outro with the music from Danny Phantom in the back of it, because that's his theme music.
Again, he's trying to do the yuck yucks. I'm not trying to defend him on that one, but he's trying to be funny.
I know, but
it's bad comment. Go ahead.
You know what's the irony of all of this, though? That even though, despite the fact that he is incredibly bigoted and doesn't like the LGBT, he wore the Deadpool mask for a while before he did the whole face reveal. Deadpool is pansexual.
Yeah, we know.
That's just ironic to me that he does not like the LGBT. He's very bigoted and racist and homophobic and all that, but yet he wore the Deadpool mask, even though the fact is that Deadpool is pan.
Yeah, but you also have to remember. Hang on, but you also have to remember he's got some very strong niggotry behind him. He's not that smart.
Yeah. But, you know, it's like the second video that he points out is like, oh, well, Rich stole my content. It's just basically a 30-second rip from a Linus Tech Tips video.
Oh, on top
with nothing added to it.
He uploaded a full unedited clip of Disney.
Yeah, I know.
Has on his channel too.
Yeah, I know. Well, time out. There's some things on Disney that they...
It's a beautiful thing about the copyright laws when it comes down to Disney. Some products that they have fall away from their copyright, and others that they try to uphold. So if it has to do with the mouse itself, they try to hold that as close to them as possible. But all the other characters, they don't really care about.
Now, and here's the thing when it comes down to it. Yes, Disney owns the copyright to all this stuff, but he actually portioned out a Sonic video, and it's a record rap 2 of all the Disney princesses. Now, here's where this becomes interesting. Disney can't actually claim that.
Correct.
They can't claim it because of all the different brandings and stuff that's in there. Because, yeah, it's Disney content, but a lot of those figures that's in there are not copyrightable and actually all considered public. Public domain. Public domain now. So
Yeah, I
you know,
know.
it showcases
I-
Sleeping
I'm
Beauty,
pretty good on that one.
stuff like
yes.
that. So
Pretty-
yeah, he put that out there, but legally, you know, Disney can't really do anything because technically those couches that's showcased in that is public domain. Yes, you can argue, yeah, well, it's a rip from Wreck-It Ralph 2. Yes, you can say that, but that's technically the reason why that video is still up. So I can't explain it, and I know the reason why behind it. Yes, it just kind of showcases he is a full-on hypocrite, and that's what he needs to be remembered for. Is he's a full-on hypocrite and dumbass. But that's
Yeah,
it.
he is a full-blown hypocrite, a bigot. He will copyright. He is not hesitant on abusing the copyright system. He phoned the Ackman's mother on top of it. He actually doxed Ninjician AV on his community tab. He full-on harassed him and his girlfriend for months.
Yeah, we
And
know.
there's a bunch of other things where that comes. Like,
Oh, we know.
he also has a
We know everything about it.
head moderator as well on his Discord server. Did you see recently that he wished everyone involved in the supposed smear campaign a painful death?
We actually just got done reading that today.
We did that in the beginning of the show there. So yes, I mean, I wish him the best of luck going forward. I still say exactly the same thing. He needs to keep his mouth shut, take the L and move on.
Yeah,
that's it. Simple.
Yeah, but a lot of this, the thing is, a lot of these he could get arrested for.
Oh, I know. And this is not only legal advice, but also just, you know, overall advice when it comes to dealing with any form of social media. You have to learn that there's certain point in time where you are wrong, and you have to take that L, and you've got to stop talking about it for a lot of this to go away. If you continue to press on it, then unfortunately legal matters could come into the equation, and it could make the situation far worse. Yes, so it's like I already had this basic rant when Sparky reintroduced me to this particular person, and so I can have an actual sit down and listen to his claim of his copyright, and I'm like, going, you're abusing the copyright. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's I've never seen Road Meltdown so spectacularly before. It's glorified on a YouTube video.
I am a mixed kid. I'm what's considered black, if you want to, by American terminology, because I'm a third for that. So basically, I have family members who are blacker than I am, going across the board on my mother's side of things. And when I see a stupid nigger, I cannot help but point out a stupid nigger.
Okay.
And he is quintessentially a stupid nigger. And he should shut the fuck up, take his fucking L.
Yeah,
and
quantum is a touchy thing with Rogue.
And I've done this on many different fronts. I will call a spade if I'm going to. That's my how I was raised. Call a spade a spade. Don't fucking care.
I'm not gonna. Sorry, I'm not gonna. You
don't have to. It's fine. You could have your own ideas and the way how your approaches are, but
I don't like him. I think he's a racist bigot and homophobic.
Oh yeah, no. But here's the problem with it. Most blacks are usually racist bigots. Like it or not, they're mostly a racist bigoted group. They're mostly homophobic. They do not like gays and lesbians within their group. They do not appreciate the LGBT coming out.
He's Christian. He's that kind of Christian who doesn't
that's another thing that's about it. They're highly religious. They've fallen into this mount of traps, and it's because of the American ideology.
By the way, did you see Reption's video and the
I've seen it. I've seen it.
So did you see the comment section where Ninjician commented, as well as Fertanga Plays and Quantum TV? And then Reption responded. And he actually tweeted about it too on his Twitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And again, it comes back down to man should take the L, shut the fuck up, leave it alone. He's making it worse for himself because again he's wondering how are these nobodies now knowing who the fuck I am? It's because of the fact of what we've mentioned before, the Streisand effect. They look at your case body of work and they kind of go, "You're a lying motherfucker."
Did you watch this, by the way? Did you watch this as well, by the way?
That one, yes, I have.
Okay, so yeah, Repsion trolled him, and during the recent live stream, supposedly he donated to Quantum to further troll him. I didn't see any like evidence of that, but he did troll him, as you can see
Yeah.
that he mentions him.
Well, Repson could possibly do it. He does have a bit of money behind him to actually do such a thing. You have to keep in mind that in order for you to get in further into Quantum, you have to put in a bit of money.
Yeah, because he hides everything behind a paywall.
Yes, he does. So you want to find the truth. You want to find the truth behind the man. Then you're going to have to pay up.
Damn.
That's the one thing I think that the best thing he's done so far is put a paywall up so he can make bank off of his haters.
It's just that this dude, like, being all this though, that's the thing. Like, there's so many different other ways you can make bank without being a complete piece of shit.
Yeah, but that's the only thing he knows how to do is to it. And again, that's just unfortunately rooted into that culture. And unfortunately for Wesley, he could probably attest to it going on that one as well. Yes, I am like quarter Black Garrett.
Do you think that okay, so based upon the fact that he keeps threatening to drag the Ackman's mother into a lawsuit or drag him into a lawsuit, do you think that on the chances of him actually doing it to take the Ackman or his mother to court that he would win, or do you think he would just flat out lose?
He'll
get dismissed.
He would flat out lose. Not only would he have to pay off the court funding on the opposite side, it's going to be put in as court document that could be used against at multiple different times. This is the problem when you decide to take somebody to court. If you fail, it could be used against you in future settlements.
Well, time out. And I really don't think he's gonna take him to court. I do think because one, any good legal attorney is going to tell you whenever you file a lawsuit or a police report or anything like that, you shut the fuck up about it and don't say anything else to allow the systems to continue on, because any further antagonization from you will make it look like that you are the instigator, not the other person. Two, I don't think he's going to do it because the simple fact of if he does it, it becomes legal record. It becomes legal documents. When it becomes legal record and legal documents, his name gets out there then. And he does not...
Like public record.
It becomes public record, as well as anything that's happened afterwards. For example, if it was dismissed or whatnot, it will also become part of the court record.
So here's what happens afterwards. So he's pretty much told and showcased how to find Ackman's information, his blog post actually showcases his full name. Yeah, okay, cool.
On top of that, he instigated his audience to search up the Ackman's name.
Yeah. No, I know. He did a hit campaign.
Yeah.
Problem now, is it could be turned on him as well.
Yeah, because here's the thing. If it comes out that, hey, court filings have been filed, hey, guess what? Only thing you gotta do then is figure out what court it is, and I'm pretty sure Ackman will put out there, yes, we're going to court with this piece of garbage.
Realistically, at the end of the day, all you have to do is look up Ackman's legal name and find out whether he's going to litigation or not.
Yeah, and it'll be tied to Quantum's legal name.
I think that the Ackman has way more than enough evidence to present against Quantum anyways.
Oh yeah, no. But like I said, going on that question, Quantum TV fails miserably on all fronts. He has no legal standing. It would be dismissed, and he would have to pay out to the opposing side. So
to go to court. So the legal fees, lawyer and all that, that's expensive as hell, right?
Yeah, it can be. That's only if you don't have a lawyer on retainer, then it could be fucking expensive.
The retainer fee, right? The retainer fee?
Yes. Yeah, it could be fucking expensive. So it's like, okay, great. And this has happened with Steven Crowder, who's also has his lawyer on retainer fee for the longest time when he was going up against YouTube and that. So it's expensive. But depending on the case and how often you need that lawyer will also depend on how much the overall cost is going to be, because it's more or less a yearly thing than an actual case by case thing. for them. So
Like,
that's something a little bit different.
like a case by case basis.
Yes. Like for example, if you're going to get a lawyer, like it would be case by case. But if you're doing it on retainer, you actually hold them for that year, and you're paying them whatever it is for that year for the amount of cases that they'll need to proceed for that year.
So how much does a court case, like a lawsuit, or doing all that, like how much would that run you?
And again, it will vary on your lawyer and the locations. So it could run you give or take 100,000, depending on the lawyer, or less or more. And again, it all depends on the lawyer qualifications. For example, if you were dealing with a legal firm, you could be spending up to millions of dollars, but then you're dealing with high ticket IPs, companies, and a few other different things. If you're just an individual that has a bit of money behind you, a couple 100,000 guaranteed for some lawyers. And again, like I said, case by case for whether you be in Canada, the United States, the UK, or wherever else that has some degree of law. You can get lawyers pretty cheap on retainer in some cases. Otherwise, the sky's the limit of how much you want to pay.
And that's kind of a similar thing with Acer. He does, what was it, per se?
Yeah,
like he represents himself in all of his court cases.
Yeah,
which is just nuts.
No,
Well, you can do it.
You could do it, but it's not generally wise to do so.
And it's very idiotic at times, especially if you don't know what to do, because how many of those cases has he won?
Yeah.
Zero, to my knowledge. Zero.
Yeah. So yeah,
a lot of them have been dismissed early on.
Yeah, because of the factor that a lot of his wording is incorrect, or a lot of his approaches are also kind of incorrect. So it's just
and frivolous on top of it.
Oh yeah, no, the courts will automatically concede at the moment they read the actual statements and that, and they kind of go, yeah, this makes no sense. This is kind of frivolous. You're trying to argue something that has nothing to do with these particular people here. You might have a case on this particular person, but yeah, you got to go back to the beginning, start over.
It got so bad that they had to limit his cases. What was it, to one every month or something like that? Filing.
Yeah, because they too, the courts know that if somebody's abusing the system, they're not going to. There might be a case where you might be telling the truth or be in the right this time. So it is kind of like a hit miss for them. Do we get rid of this person outright, or do we give them a limitation of how many they could use within a year? He got the limitation. Gotcha. So it's like one day he might get one that's correct. We'll never know when that day is going to happen because he might drop dead. But going to a lawyer's salary, for example, up here in BC, Vancouver, I'm looking at an average salary for a lawyer for a year is about 100,000.
They make some good ass money. Not gonna lie.
They do. But again, they spend a lot of time trying to develop their skills. So they have to go through a lot of education, and then they have to figure out exactly what area of law that they're going to get themselves into. And then by that time, that's more education. So by the time they start practicing, they're usually in their 30s.
I gotta be honest. Like when I see court cases happen or lawsuits that involve content creators of that status.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie. It intrigues me sometimes, actually.
No, and it's that Jerry Springer kind of court that we look at. We know these people, or we have an idea who these people are, especially content creators. And so it's just another aspect of their lives and more information for us, the viewer, to get involved into. I don't know how many people have bear witness to Jerry Springer or the Maury Povich show or whatever, but that's Weird Content TV for daytime drama. Is it all real or is it all fabrication? We don't know, but it's hella fun to watch.
It can be. It can be. But yeah, like when it comes to this kind of stuff, and it's probably gonna happen more and more as time goes on. But
Yeah.
you know as well as I do that fair use has always been up in the air in terms of like, you know, whether something constitutes as fair use or not, and that's always been something that multiple content creators have debated about or talked about throughout the years. So what does fair use mean to you, TC?
Well, under the rogue term, I would have to, and that's where it gets kind of sketchy. As long as the information has become informative, has been slightly altered in some way, it's not 100 verbatim from the person's piece of work to be uploaded again, and just so they have little bits and pieces of wordplay that will pop up on the screen. That's where it get kind of dicey when it comes down to what's considered fair use. You have to, if you're going to go on the commentary channels, you're going to have to stop, talk about what just happened, give your opinion, and then roll on. Sometimes the commentary channels can be very long, but that's another area of fair use. Another area of fair use, it comes back down to the public domain circuit. Unfortunately, when it goes into public domain, it becomes open to everybody. So the fair use exists within that area, and so you can actually do 100% upload because no one's actually making a claim for that particular material. And can never make a claim for that particular material because it belongs to the public aspect. It's no more better than having a library book. So you can borrow it as often as you want to, but you can also do an archive channel based off of public domain material.
Yeah, like when it comes to archive channels that do like public domain, that's fine to me. That to me is fine. But like when it comes to two different scenarios involving the idea of fair use, like take for example, there being channels that mirror someone's like video, like completely re-upload the video, no transformative nature, no clipping videos together or commentating, no transformative nature, no nothing of that. Versus a commentary channel that does all of that, and they, you know, that's fair use. But like when it comes to the mirroring or re-uploading the video entirely in its entirety with none of that,
I've actually have
consider that to be fair use, right?
I have.
That's where hang on, and that's where it becomes a bit dicey when it comes down to the mirroring channels. So, yeah, unless the copyright holder of that mirrored information comes out and says, "No, I want that down," then technically it belongs under the fair use. And like I said, that there it becomes a little bit of a gray zone, and that's where YouTube and other social media areas need to fine tune a bit on that one, which is the mirrored areas. Is this something that fits within their definition of fair use, or is this goes against their definition of fair use? And I have no real good answer for that one. I don't like a lot of mirror channels. I don't usually promote a lot of mirror channels. If it perchance has to deal with a lot of public domain or materials that will never get a content fall under the copyright law or will not be picked up by the copyright holder because it's kind of dicey, years a little off, or they don't want to acknowledge that particular material exists. Then
I'm stepping out for a moment.
What?
I'm stepping away from the computer for a moment.
Yeah, you normally do that. I end up talking. We're fine. We're good.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
It's not like it's not like things are gonna blow up while you're away. Then again, they could. So, but yeah, that's where it kind of gets to a little bit. Like I said, we have certain areas, and we have to be careful with definitions, and that's why I always ask for a definition going forward. But as for mine, yeah, criticism, news reporting, areas of teaching, research,
commentary,
yeah,
parody.
parody, yeah, those all fall under what, even in Canada, they also fall under our version of fair use. So
Yeah.
copyright, we do have a different beliefs or structured definition for copyright. And realistically, all of Canada would like to have people to just mirror all of the channels that we do up here, all the movies and that up here, because no one pays attention to them anyways in Canada. So just to be ruthless for my own basic nation, no one cares what happens in Canada for the most part.
Oh, okay, so if
yeah.
I'm not gonna know if I murder somebody out there in cold blood, I'll ask one of you Canadians to help me bury their body.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
pretty much. There'll probably be somebody to do it, especially if you go back up further north, and a polar bear will probably just eat the body for you. It's just
Oh, there we go. I'll
Yeah.
just fucking have a polar bear as a pet.
yeah, there you go. You're fine. You're guaranteed. No one will ever recognize. No one will know.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh, hello back.
Welcome
Yeah,
back.
because most of
welcome back,
Canada's
Sparky.
living quarters is roughly about 30 to 40%. The rest of it is questionable living area.
TC
The
was
further
not-
north you go, the
TC
further
wasn't
dangerous it
trying to help
becomes.
me bury a. TC was definitely not trying to help me bury a body as a Canadian to help me with a polar bear as a pet. To then
Definitely
keep the
no,
body.
no.
No. He doesn't bury. He uses lye and a couple other various chemicals.
Yeah, no, I've got a few other products that I do that. But if you require, to make it look like an accident, I have people that can do that for you.
Oh hell yeah!
I live next to I live next to a town that's basically the whole town is a mine shaft quarry. So
Yeah.
I know plenty of open mine shafts that go very deep, and they're flooded too.
Yeah.
I feel that. So now that I heard T's Rogue's
Thank you.
definition of fair use, Sparky, what do you think would constitute as fair use, and what doesn't constitute as fair use to you?
Well, before that, I'm going to get myself a drink. You have fun. I'll be back in a few.
Okay then.
All right.
Well, I was actually talking about right before you came on. Fair use is basically just taking. I try to go through the 4 factors, and at the end of the day, there's no defining. Okay, manual and book. Okay, do this, and this, and it's fair use. I mean, there is somewhat, but the interpretations are very vague, so people's description on them is going to be very vague. So, I tried to go and stick very heavily to, what the 4 factors are. So, the 4 factors of fair use. And let me look this up just so I know I'm not messing up or butchering anything.
Yeah.
But it's like I do the same thing with my my other channel, which is STC Watch Club. It's a reactionary commentary review channel of anime shows. And I try to make them very transformative. It's not supposed to be a marketable substitute. So the 4 factors is the purpose of the character, use, and walk. And I'm basically I'm using my content at STC Watch Club and basically my processes of this is where I come from. Because one, other people's interpretations are going to be different. So these are my interpretations. But like so for my so for my channel, see the purpose and the character, the use of walk. It's a critique channel, it's a reaction channel, it's a review channel. We critique, react, and review different animes, shows that are either they're coming out now and they're popular, or they're old, obscure, and the ones that we like. So purposes, like I said, critiquing. Review, criticism, reacting, our thoughts of it. So that's number 1. That's the purpose and use of the channel. 2, the nature of the copyrighted work. Same as 1 is the purpose of the character of it. It's basically reviewing, critiquing, and reacting to the show. 3, the amount is substantial or the portion used and related to the copyrighted work as a whole. Now, This one's very ambiguous, especially on my channel, because this is one of the things that whenever this channel got taken down by Kamiso's GmbH, this is one of the things that they were arguing is because I used the entire episode of the show. And that's true. I did. But I wasn't trying to rip the show. I wasn't trying to put it up to, hey, here's a show, go watch it, give me clicks. It wasn't anything like that. So it's not a marketable substitute. Like I said, the video is heavily obscured. If you're watching my channel now, the matrix rain, it's has a 60% opaqueness to it. So it's behind that, and the logo's behind it, and the volume is silent. There's no volume to it. So technically, if you want to be technical about it, I'm only using half of the video. Because the video relies on not only visuals, but audio. You clip out the audio of that, well, you basically clipped out half the content. That's my interpretation of it. But I used the whole episode, so with a timer on it, and whenever I, get ready on the mark, set, go. This is when it's starting. So
it wasn't unedited episode, or was it edited?
It's edited to a point. So let me go ahead and showcase to you like some of the stuff I do on my channel, and
Okay.
This will probably be better if I do it this way, anyways, to kind of give you an idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and showcase an episode of Goblin Slayer to you. And you've used Discord before, right? You know about the share feature?
I know about the what?
The sharing feature?
Oh yeah, screen sharing. Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
All right. So I'm going live with it. All thing I gotta do is just hop on in. So I've got it muted for right now, but I basically got intro, and then we go into the show itself. And these are edited episodes now. I've done some more edits to them to kind of alleviate any kind of questionability on the whole thing. But we basically go in and we talk about the show for a time, and then afterwards we go into watching the show. Like I said, show's edited down now, but I had the entire show up. Now, it's overlaid, there's things over it, you cannot see the show's obscured. I wanted to at least show somewhat of the show, but it's not a place to go watch the show. You can't listen to it. There's no sound to it. So you're just basically watching moving pictures behind different filtering buffers while listening to us talk. Now, I didn't edit it down. I left all the dead there and everything in because it's meant to be, okay, you're watching a commentary. Basically, pull up episode 6 that you own and watch along with us if you want the sound, if you want to see an obscured picture with us in the background.
It kind of reminds me of, the whole like TV meta, right, on Twitch?
It's somewhat like that, but it's not exactly like that. That's live. This ain't live. And everything that we watch, I'm showcasing it to people in the Discord, so we're timed in progress. But every one of these people have the exact same accessibility to these shows that I do. So it's not like, I'm getting around some sort of a paywall barrier to let other people watch the show. No, they have Netflix, they have Crunchyroll, they have YouTube, they have these different sites that I use to watch shows. So it's not like it's supplementing anything.
Are we watching more copyrighted materials?
No, I'm just showcasing. I'm just showcasing my thing. But I used the entire video.
Example,
You do realize, Sparky, not all of us wants to see your thing.
Yeah,
he's
well,
showcasing a video to me on his other channel as an example.
Yeah, because I'm describing my interpretation of fair use is like, well, this is the only way I can really showcase my example of it.
No, I get it. That's what I got away from, but I'm also kind of just making fun of your thing.
All right, that's fine. You make fun of
little Sparky. You have to make fun of him every now and then. I mean, seriously.
Before you showcase it to me, by the way, Sparky, I'm by any chance did you see the Toei animation and Toei Not Mark situation and ShowPro and Swede situation?
I have seen it. We have talked about it. It is one of those examples of what Rogue was talking about. Not every country, not every area kind of identifies for fair use. Basically, fair use does not exist in Japan.
Correct.
Now,
Japan has, like I said, we have to be, when you go back down to the terms of fair use, I always ask, are we talking about it globally or are we talking about a specific area? Because each area has their own interpretation. And some don't even have it.
Yeah,
So,
Japan doesn't have it. Japan
Right.
does not believe in fair use. They believe if it's copyrightable, it's called a copyrightable. So, yes, it was a thing. And I believe Totally Not Mark and YouTube made the correct decision in this, and they're implementing that too within the copyright system.
yeah,
And I
so
think this might be
One
the
of the very few moments where YouTube actually stepped in. That's which is crazy.
Yeah, no, and this is something that YouTube already has available within their system. It's the first time they're actually utilizing it, where they can actually block certain countries' access to certain areas and certain accounts.
Geo-blocking.
And this might be the reason why my channel hadn't been hit anymore by Camisos, because they might have blocked it out from Germany entirely. I don't know. Because ever since
quite possible.
Yeah, because ever since then, I've not had any more copyright strikes. Also, I've not been uploading my STC Watch Club onto this channel, because it was on this channel. And do understand, this channel did get terminated. This channel was yeeted and gone.
I do think that the geo-blocking option should be available to all content. I think honestly all content creators should be allowed to do that.
Yeah, and it should be.
The problem with that is YouTube likes to have as much money as possible from all different areas of the piggy bank. So we doing the geo block for everybody or specific nations and that, I will cut on their bottom line. So I can see why they've made it blockable and only for certain cases that they'll use it for certain channels and that. So it makes sense on their end for money.
All right. So let me hurry along and finish this up. But I had it basically to where you could just watch along with your own content, and that's the only reason why I had the full episode up. Camisos didn't like it; they took it down. We had back and forth. They took down more videos. The last video they took was a live stream, basically explaining the situation. I lost my channel for about 2 months. I said, basically after talking to a bunch of people online. I said, I do owe a lot to Stejo and Susie Lou, because they reached out to some of their people. They helped me out. They got more eyes on it than what I could, because, lowly 500 sub content creator got yeeted. Who cares? Whatever. They helped me out. I was able to get the channel back. I've not been bothered by them anymore. That prompted me to make a actual channel for this content, and I went through and decided all the dead hour portions are getting removed. So it's no longer you can watch along with it. It's just basically us commentating, doing parts. So sometimes the content used in the episode could be 5 to 10 minutes. It could be 15 to 20 minutes, just depending on how long we talk over the video and portions where we do talk over it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's the amount used, and that's, like I said, my interpretation of it. A video is audio and video. You cut out audio, you cut half the video, even though it might be the same length. That's my interpretation of it. People could probably argue against that interpretation. That's completely fine. It's an interpretation. It's what it is. Until it actually goes to law and it's been presented to court and court law rules on it. Yes, this is what it means, or no, this is not what it means. It's an interpretation. Now, the fourth use is... Huh?
Are you on the side of the fact that when it comes to fair use, that it doesn't matter how much footage will be used in your video, so long as it's in a transformative nature? Are you on the side of that, or on the side that you can only use a certain amount of footage?
The amount and substantial, the amount and portions used in relations to the copyrighted work as a whole through your own methods. So if your transformation of the video requires a whole entire video, it requires a whole entire video. Again, that's one of those legal gray areas of, well, you can only use 10% of it. Oh, you can only use 20% of it. Oh, you can only use 50% of it. It doesn't give a distinction, because the work could involve utilizing all of it. So, good example. And I know they'll clip portions of it, but it's like DBZ abridged, Hellsing abridged, and stuff like that. They're utilizing the video, and they're putting different synced audio, basically retelling a story. That video now, even if it's the entire episode, is completely different from the original. It is not the original no more. It is completely different. So, the amount, it really depends on what you're using it for. So for me, I was using the entire amount, the entire length, and basically telling people, hey, you can follow along with us, just match up the time markers, and you can listen, watch the show, and then listen to us in the background. Or you could just watch, because if you're watching this, you've probably already seen the episode, so you can pretty much get inference of where we're at and what we're talking about and what we're talking about. So length doesn't really matter. It just depends on what it's used for. And for the effect of the use upon the potential market of the value of the copyrighted work. That's pretty much self-explanatory. You're doing a review of a video, you're doing a critique of, well, you're doing a review of an episode, you're doing a critique of an episode. It can be for the purposes of, I like this episode because of this, and this reason, and showcasing why. Or it could be, I don't think this is a good anime. In my opinion, I don't think you need to watch it because of this, and this reason. It's not usurping the market. It either helps the market by promoting a video, or it can hurt the market, but it's also in the form and basis of critiquing it. Of these and the reasons why I don't like
substitute the original. It doesn't.
It's
substitute the original work.
It's not.
Yeah.
You're not meant to go on my channel and watch the show. You're coming to my channel to watch because you're wanting to look and see what our reactions are, what our commentary is, what our reviews are, what we think about it. You're here on my channel for that reason, not to watch the show.
Yeah, but you've had so many different complaints of not being able to see the show or hear the show correctly.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about it. I forgot. I've got so many fucking complaint comments like, "Hey, we can't hear the show. Hey, we can't see the show." It's like, well, I guess I'm doing an effective job of not usurping the market for the anime.
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to transformative work on YouTube or anything like that. It comes out to like 40% of the footage being used is the thing you're reacting to. 60% is your footage. You know, like your footage being more than the footage you're using to commentate over.
Well, again, that's an interpretation.
That becomes a little bit dicey because now we got to go into a new definition of how to define transformative work. Transformative work could also include taking somebody's full video, clipping it down to about from a 30-minute video to an 8-minute video, to prove and disprove their statements in that's basically
in that 8-minute time frame. Yeah, like the commentary community will do that from a lot of time.
Right. Yeah, so
they utilize the whole entire video, and basically they play along, they stop, and they talk about it. We've done that with a lot of we've done that with Quantum TV's blog on live stream.
Let me shut the fuck up. I don't know how many times. Every time you stop, like shut him up. Just shut him up. But that's the problem. You have to be very careful with the terms of the definitions going forward, as well as whereabouts you are for globally speaking, and each one, like, again, has their own different idea of what's supposed to be considered fair use, how far it is, copyright laws, and some that don't. So it's like, okay. But and unfortunately, when it comes down to the basic rule of thumb, and this falls for any form of entertainment, 25% different. That's it. That's all you need. 25% different. And it's transformative.
So how do you think that fair use is going to be more, whether less or more implemented on YouTube, like in the coming years from now? How do you think fair use is going to?
I don't think Susan and her ilk are going to be worried about fair use at all, because again, at the end of the day, they're trying to make money off of whatever ads that they have. Like it or not, YouTube is the biggest game in the business when it comes down to streaming. I know there's others that have tried to overthrow that market, whether it be on the Facebook side of things, on the Twitch side of things, or whatever the multitude of different streaming services that are available to us. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, YouTube is the biggest game, will always be the biggest game, and there's nothing that's going to dethrone them for a very long time. As for fair use, they have had a lot of copyright materials up there from companies wide and small. So NBC stuff is up there. It's under fair use.
Like, what are your thoughts on companies or like corporations such as Toei Animation or ShowPro that abuse the copyright system or DMCA?
Again,
Time out.
when it comes down to let me go on to this one. When it comes to those cases there, like Toei and whatnot, Toei is a good example of Japanese belief systems going forward, as pointed out by Sparky and about other people as well. These countries don't have any form of copyright law or a good understanding what other levels of copyright. So is that abuse when they decide to strike down a certain thing? Like Nintendo was notorious that for the longest time, striking down any channel that had any of their IPs. And legally they could do it because it's within.
Didn't they do the same thing with fan-made games too?
Yes. They're notorious for it, and it hurt them in the long run to a point where they started slowly to change what they were able to allow to be put out. I mean, you could be a member of the Nintendo influencer group, or you can actually have certain material out there now. The Nintendo will actually kind of go, okay, is this something going against their IP, or is this something that we can turn a blind eye on because it's benefiting us?
Well, and
it took a long time.
You can look at two different levels too with the whole thing. But let me answer his first question first. When you talk about fair use, you're talking about legal terminology. You're not talking about YouTube. At the end of the day, only thing YouTube has to do is fulfill the safe harbor provisions. That's all they got to do. When it comes down to fair use or copyright, anything like that, that has nothing to do with YouTube. That has everything to do with the court of law. YouTube just has to follow the safe harbor provisions for the DMCA for copyright holders to be able to have tools to either attack or defend their works, and that's it. So fair use means jack squat to YouTube. That goes into a legal matter. And then when it comes what Rug was saying again about other countries and all that other good stuff, yes. Nintendo was like notorious about it, so was Toei, all that other good stuff. But they don't take fair use into account. Here's the issues and here's the problems when you get into this. They are in one country, YouTube is in another country. Technically, by a letter of law, it must be, if you're going to go at this legally, and none of these content creators have done this, like when the streams got hit by Nintendo or Toei. Nobody's done this, so there's no legal precedence on it. But technically, the battle will have to take place in America. It's not like, it's not like this is going to be litigated in Germany, or like for Kamisos. It's not like this is going to be litigated in Japan with Nintendo and stuff like that. It has to be litigated in the area of the injury. Technically, the area of the injury is YouTube. Technically, that is a company that's within the boundaries of California. So it'll have to come to an American court in order to argue it. So when you do that, you start playing by that country's laws. If you don't like it, don't show it.
Yeah, and again, going back to Toei and that, or even Japan, they're very strict with their copyright laws. They will come down very hard on any piece of work that they have within their copyright. So,
but within their ID, what do you call it, IPs?
Well,
Japanese IPs.
Pretty much anything that's expressive. That falls into literary, scientific, musical, arts.
Basically, the copyright.
They have an umbrella. They pretty much covered everything in Japan. If it exists in Japan and somebody decides to pick it up and move it over to somewhere else in the global world of things, they're going to come down hard on you pretty quick. That's our shit. You're not allowed to touch it.
And this is the interesting thing about anime too.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is an interesting thing about anime.
Yeah.
So, with copyright, like with animes and stuff like that, there's also differing licenses. So,
Yes.
for instance, like Crunchyroll, Netflix, all them, Funimation will get licenses for these animes to bring over here to America in order for them to show the content here. Technically, the ball then gets taken out of Japan's hands because we can't see any of the content over there in Japan. We don't have access to it. What we have access to over here to us is these companies showcasing the licensed product that they have. So technically, the studios like we'll say Violet Evergarden, for instance. It's a Kyoto Animations original. So Kyoto Animations holds copyright on it. However, like for me, if I was to do a watch club on that, Kyoto Animations have nothing to do with it. Then now that falls onto the licensure of Netflix. Netflix will be the one injured with that one because of the boundaries of where I'm at, what the streaming content is, and so forth and such forth. The problem is whenever I showcase something on my channel, it must be proven where it came from. Now, if I got the original showing over there in Japan and they could prove that, then yeah, they could probably have a case to come after me. But the problem is if it's content that I'm using that they've licensed out to another company, it now falls within this other company, not them.
It reminds me of YouTubers who did movie reviews while they were over there in Japan or living in Japan, and next thing that happened was they got arrested for it. Like I think Japanese IPs or movie reviews, like on movies that were uncommon or something like that, they got arrested over there.
Right.
Yeah, and they can. That's their laws. That's
Okay. Keep. Think about this. There's only a small handful of countries that actually have what is considered a digital economy or their version of fair use, the fundamental freedom of speech and digital economy kind of thing, like in the United States. Others, such as Malaysia, Singapore, Israel, Canada, and South Korea, have their own versions of fair use. Some other countries and nations have different flexibilities on what they consider copyright or the limitations of fair use. And like I said, it becomes dicier as you go further and further into the murkiness. So, if you're doing something like that in Japan, and you decide to do a movie review or hell a television review of one of their wacky television based shows that they have there, you could be not only stricken down but held accountable for stealing somebody's IP. Even though you're doing a commentator and it's clearly acceptable in these other nations.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's murky waters when you get to the international copyrights.
It's
crazy. It's
It
kind
was-
of crazy that happens.
It is, but it happens. But the thing is again, you gotta look at where the area the injury is and what the people are. The people are over there in Japan.
Yeah.
So it's that's that they are subjugated to their laws. Even if they don't live in Japan and they're visiting, you're subjugated to their laws.
You're subject to that law that you're there. So you have to
I've
be
seen
very
that
careful
happen
of things.
with Swede's situation. I saw that where he had to. I think he has to go over to Japan to go through like a Japanese court to settle stuff or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing that happened with the Paul brothers, Logan Paul, Jake Paul. Anything that happens at any instigation that they did in Japan while they were over there, they had to settle up before they could leave.
That is crazy. Jesus.
Yep. So that instigation of the suicide forest, whether it was staged or real, that was a lot of drama that they had to go through in order for them to be able to be released from Japan back to their home nations. In some cases, they were extradited, asked to never come back. Otherwise, they'd face criminal charges.
Jesus.
So again, when you go, this is why I kind of go when it comes down to this kind of talking point, we only see it from one aspect. What we deal with here. But when I asked for a definition so I can get you to see the broader scope, it becomes more and more darker and murkier when we get into the other scopes of the world. So it's like, globally speaking, copyright or fair use virtually doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's practically non-existent over in Japan, and that's
Yes.
kind of scary. It's scary to picture in terms of like international law, where Japan they virtually don't have copyright laws, and by that meaning they can just go ahead and like the same way with Toei Animation, they issued 155, at least 150 plus copyright takedown notices to Toei Not Mark, and almost wiped away nearly 3 years of his work. That's just nuts.
Yeah, that's Japan. That's their legal obligations. They're protecting their copyright. I understand what they're doing. Yes, I don't see that it's the legitimate way that they should have done this. They should have actually had a conversation with the person, and this should have been settled outside of what, striking down an entire account via YouTube, different policies and that. YouTube should have stepped in, or whoever was holding the streaming rights should have stepped in and kind of went, well, have the conversation with the other country, kind of going, do you understand? Here we have what's considered copyrights and fair use. And that should be a conversation between the two businesses. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen. Doesn't happen that often.
You know what's even crazier though? At one point, from my understanding of this, Toei was actually at one point trying to collaborate or work with Toei Not Mark before the situation happened. That to me is crazy.
No, again, keep in mind they're based on a hierarchy system, like their politics or the political senate in that. Old boys, new boys. Old boys, strict, hardcore law enforcers and that. So most of the time they don't pay attention until somebody comes into their office to tell them what's going on. Well, the young boys or the young new politicians or the ones who are the new executives and that are all in to try to get a little bit more open discussion with other people across the world. Sometimes it works in their favor, sometimes it doesn't.
All right, guys.
Again, the old dogs come into play.
All right, guys. I'm gonna let this know right now. Wrap it up. I got 5 minutes. Then I gotta go over and I gotta do a quick
Yeah, I know
recording.
you got shit to do. I know. So as usual,
you guys can stick in the Discord. I'm just saying, 5 minutes. I'm wrapping the stream.
No. I've got to go eventually. Eat eventually. So but like.
Actually, I was about to head off myself.
There you go. So as usual, when it comes down to any form of this particular conversation, any form of discussions, commentary, whatnot, in order for you to get a better understanding of the opposing side, always ask for a good clarification on the definition.
I just wish they could have done that before they decided to ensue in over 150 takedown notices to Totally Not Mark. That's outlandish.
I know, and that's something that when it gets to that level, that's when two companies have to sit together and kind of have that conversation, kind of go, YouTube needs to step up and kind of go, this is kind of excessive. Why are you doing this? You do realize that we have these particular things, and YouTube needs to really understand what it is. It is a soapbox system of free speech for the most part, that anybody could come in and do whatever kind of show or channel that they want to do. Mm-hmm. And they allowed it under the safe harbor laws, and they should follow that throughout. But most of the time, they like to they like to close their eyes and pretend like nothing's ever happening.
Yeah. Well, when it gets to something like that, that's between the content creators. YouTube is just a platform, and they have to follow DMCA guidelines. Unfortunately, those guidelines get abused.
Legal battle goes into like the content creator and their attorney. Like when it gets to that point, I mean.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And yes,
and
Wesley,
YouTube has no. Yeah, and YouTube has no part in that. That's the reason why the DMCA is so very strict and stuff like that. Is like, and that's the reason why the DMCA is a legal form. The counter notification is a legal form. They are legally required to do this because you're saying, okay, if we cannot settle this between one of these two parties, if the person striking the other person, if the person's getting struck can't come to terms with, okay, maybe I validated the copyright or maybe I'm in the right, and the other person, they can't, well, maybe this is fair use or maybe they're selling my content, and these two parties cannot come together. At the end of the day, it's not YouTube's baby, it's their baby, and that's why it goes to a court of law afterwards. That's why whenever you counter a video, the video goes back up. It doesn't go back up because of the fact of, oh, no, well, we think it's fair use or we think it doesn't break. It's not that. You are basically asserting, okay, I said that this is fair use. I told this guy this by the counter notification. If he doesn't think it's fair use, the next step is to go to court, and that does not involve YouTube. That's why the content goes back up.
Yeah, it gets reinstated.
Yes.
Yes.
Gets reinstated. My last words of the day is Batman is not bisexual or bicurious. It just was bad story writing.
Okay then. Mr. Gamer, thank you for coming on. It's been a fun conversation. I love when random people just come into the Discord and want to talk about different things. So I'm more glad to stick around in the Discord. I do streams on Sundays every Sunday at 4 p.m. Sometimes I stream during the weekday. Yes, Central Standard Time.
Thank you.
4 p.m. Central Standard Time.
People have different time zones, motherfucker.
Sometimes I forget. But sometimes I'll do streams during the weekday, and when I do, I'll jump into Robot Masters. If I'm in Robot Masters, just be aware I could be recording, I could be streaming, or I could just be in here because I'm bored. So I'm more than glad to come in here. If you want to talk on stream, talk on video, just talk in private, it is what it is. Just let me know beforehand. Or ask if you're not for sure, hey, you're recording or streaming, just so you know. But yeah, you're more than glad to come around whenever you want to hang out like this again.
Okay, yeah. Much appreciated, man. Thank you for having me on.
GNF TV is always good and a good spot to sit and lark with other people. You get to see me most of the time there. I will send you a link to that for our Discord and shit like that. So if you want to, you can always jump in there and harass us to the highest level. Normally we do some streamings there. I'll let you know ahead of time as you come in that, hey, we might be doing a live show in certain spots. You're always, it's up to you whether you wish to stay or not. I really don't care either way. It is one of those, again, open forums for anybody who wishes to give us some I don't know, entertainment value.
Yeah, because GNF give no fucks.
Correct.
Also Gator and Frog.
That's right.
In terms of like sticking around within here, I was gonna say I might stick around in terms of like the live streams, but in terms of Discord, I unfortunately can't. I got way too many like Discords that I'm part of.
Trust me, I've got a shit ton of Discords.
Hey, that's
I put them in
fine.
little categories, but
That's
you're
fine.
You're not devoted to actually stay around. We're not saying once you're here, you're locked in. You have to be active.
Yeah.
And what I gotta do, no smear campaign because this person was in my Discord now he's gone. I'm so offended now because that's just so totally not the thing to do.
Yeah.
But no, if you're around again and you want to come on again, just jump on in. Let me know in the comments or let me know through. I think I can add you as a friend and then we can talk afterwards whenever you leave because I think.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I've got.
Feel free to the prayer request.
Yeah, I've got to add you as a friend so we can continue to chat.
I already did that. So there you go. So you know how to reach me. You know how to reach Sparky. At the end of the day, we're getting the fuck out of here, right?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right. Take care, everyone. Have a good day.
You too, man. You too.
Jesus Christ. I know Sparky. He will go on for a bit longer. They go, I've got to go. And it's like, yeah, we've done another hour. Jesus Christ. But,
take care of yourselves, guys.
You guys have a good night. I will talk to you much, much later. Peace, people.
Good man. Peace.